we're here at the AMSOIL Center. What exactly goes on at this building?
Well, this is where everything happens. This is where we make the oil and package it and ship it around the United States as well as globally.
Excellent. Show me around. We're walking along the Yellow Brick Road.
The Yellow Brick Road. So there's 411,000 square foot facility, and this is where all the blending happens. We have about 350 different blends that we make here in Superior, Wisconsin.
How long has AMSOIL been in operation out of this facility?
Out of this facility, it's been about 20 years now.
And as the company has grown over the years, there's a lot of history here. How important was it to the company to stay right here in this area where it all began?
Well, privately held company, and so the Amatuzio family is very dedicated to the employee base and to the community. And if you think about it, having an oil manufacturer in Superior, Wisconsin, it's the wrong location, the wrong location, the wrong location. Because we're bringing raw materials in from coastal, refineries and bringing them here, and then manufacturing it and then shipping it globally. But we're here. We're here for the long run.
Are people here, are they working 7 days a week, 24/7? What does that look like?
We are a single shift operation, and so Monday through Friday. So we invest heavily into technology. Certainly as the business grows, we have the capacity to add additional shifts. But right now, we keep investing in equipment and into people, and it's just a very efficient system and process. So these are our two primary lines, manufacturing lines. One is dedicated to quartz only. This is a line that we can do up to like 1 gallon jugs, but it can also do quartz for us as well. Both of these are relatively new within the last 2 years. We've upgraded the technology and gained a lot of efficiencies out of it, probably good 20% or so in the packaging of the finished good. Yeah, quartz filled today, and it's early yet. 37,000 quarts were filled today.
Wow.
On a single shift.
37,000.
And they're off early. Every single one of the bottles is weighed, because each bottle weighs a little bit differently. So we're able to make sure that we're able to fill the quart of oil properly and not overfill, but we never underfill it either. So that's what this process does.
Wow.
So this is what we refer to as our rail spur. And this is where we'll have inbound shipments of raw material coming in. And on the other side of those rail cars is where we can have up to 4 tractor-trailer tankers come in and offload at the same time. So a rail car is about 23,000 gallons of raw material, and a tanker truck's about 6,000 gallons. There's 90 transfer pumps in here and about 3.5 miles of piping to take it from the rail car into the raw material tanks, which we haven't shown you yet, but we're coming to. Into the finished good tanks is 3.5 miles of pipe.
3.5 miles.
And so once they're done with the blend and they've sent what they needed to the packaging lines, what they'll do is they'll use a squeegee system, and we refer to it as a pig. We'll essentially put this pig into the pipe, and then it'll push all of the finished goods to the production line. So we make sure that we're getting everything that they ask for as far as the size of the batch is being produced. And then they'll send the pig back, and then they only got a clean line. So the interesting thing is that when they're manufacturing.
Welcome back to Crandon International Raceway, the 54th Polaris Crandon World Championships, AMSOIL Championship Off-Road, presented by the U.S. Air Force. Shane and Brent up here, Nolan down there. Super stock truck. We had that little delay, but we've been given the all-good signal. Super stock truck coming at you very soon. Here's another look at that starting grid, and we talked about the points battle. Braden Beauchamp in 4th in points, Belanger in 3rd, Machosik 2nd in points, Holcher leading the points. Only 17 points from 1st to 4th. There's been a lot of drama. We know about the rivalries in this class, Brent. This is what we've been waiting for today, super stock truck.
Like I said earlier, these are the big bad boys of the Sportsman division. You just see how many trucks are on that starting line. There's Nick Bing in the 833, going through some ups and downs this season. He wants to capitalize here at the big house.
He gets to start all the way outside of that front row, and you look all the way to the inside. Trey Beauchamp, that's a guy that's capable of running up front, as well as Aaron Holiday right next to him. Then that group of 4 that we talked about in the points battle, right there in the middle of row number 1. Faye is going to slide the board, and you'll hear the sound of the engines. They'll rev them up.
Well, here we go. Pay attention. At any given time, you'll see that green flag wave. There it is. Get on your feet, Crandon. Here we go to Forest County, Potawatomi, turn number 1.
Man, Machosik just shot out of a cannon on that start.
Wow, he's all by himself down the middle. Here comes Braden Beauchamp now.
Into turn 1, it will be Ben Holter flying past Machosik. Braden Beauchamp, Jamie Kleikamp, Belanger up in the top 5.
Wow, look at the packed house on the left of your screen. Big crowd here this weekend. Looks like Kaziza got a little sideways there.
He was all crossed up, landing over that barn jump, got into the side of Bing a little bit. Holter going way wide out into the dust. And we see the cream rising to the top already. The points leader, Ben Holter, leads the way through the gravel pit for the first time. Machosik, the 2021 champ, hot on his heels.
Boy, Shane, that's probably the cleanest start we've seen all year out of Super Stock Truck. That's so awesome because you want the best in the business to get out front. Look at Joey Machosik trying to square that Calamity corner.
It is greasy down on the inside, though. Machosik could not get the drive to get alongside Holter. He'll fall back in line. Braden Beauchamp still sitting in 3rd. We got a battle for 4th. Belanger and Kleikamp banging doors side by side.
Yeah, if you're Braden Beauchamp, you want these top 2 to start making some contact. It'll give you a chance to button up to the back door. And look at that moisture laid down on the track. It's really heavy right now, Shane.
We talked about the points battle. Holter with a 14-point lead over Machosik, and Machosik might be in trouble. Braden Beauchamp now into the 2nd spot.
Wow, Braden Beauchamp just throttled his way around Joey Machosik. Here we go. It's going to be a drag race back to turn number 1.
Beauchamp will have the spot. He will go to work to try to chase down the 844 of Holter.
There's Ben Holter coming through turn 1. Braden Beauchamp now, he's hunting down our race leader. Remember, Braden Beauchamp, he swept the weekend at Bark River.
Yeah, big momentum coming into this one. I just got word from race control that Machosik, they determined that he jumped the start a little bit, so they made him give up 1 spot. So he actually had to fall back behind Beauchamp.
Well, you said he was shot out of a cannon. He went a little too early, so definitely had to give up that spot. Remember, we have a halfway point caution. The red and yellow flag will be displayed, but right now, if you're Braden and Joey, you got to run that pace of Ben Holter. You got to know you can run with him.
In a points battle where every position matters, for everybody who's not Ben Holter in that points race, you have to hunt him down. We're going to see both Braden Beauchamp and Joe Machosik be extremely aggressive, I think.
Yeah, Braden, he's so smart behind the wheel. He's going to pick the best line. You can see he's gradually catching up. I just seen a glimpse of that left front of Braden Beauchamp. He put it up on the bicycle, set it back down. I don't know, I seen a glimpse of that left front. I don't want to say it's going down, but it didn't look too happy going through Argonne.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. You see Machosik now putting the pressure back on the rear bumper of Beauchamp. Down that long, fast back straightaway. Kleikamp still sitting in that 4th spot.
Boy, Braden is just checking up a little bit later than these guys, trying to make that run. Here comes Joey Machosik. They're side by side.
Machosik with a great run on a Cowboy corner, and it'll be a drag race down towards turn 1.
Braden's going to have a little bit of an advantage being on the inside. He clears Machosik. Here he comes.
Now Braden up to the back bumper of Holter. We have a 3-way battle for the lead in front of the crowd here at Crandon.
Wow, Braden Beauchamp barely cleaned out in front of Machosik. Just sneaking by. It's early yet, Shane. They need to be careful here.
Long way to go in this one. Still over 5 minutes left on the race clock as they fly past the skyboxes. Holter again stretching out that lead a couple truck lengths over Beauchamp. Now Machosik goes down to the bottom in the gravel pit. Not enough bite down there.
Well, we should be coming to the halfway point this time by. Ben Holter leading the way around, but I can guarantee you, Braden Beauchamp and Joey Machosik are saving a little bit in the tank here for the second half, but Ben Holter, he's flat out flying.
Well, that's 2 more points onto the ledger for Ben Holter. As So he'll stretch his points lead over Beauchamp and Machosik just a little bit there.
Look at Jamie Kleikamp now in the top 4.
Cannot count him out.
He had a good start.
Belanger knows how to win here as well. He's a former world champion in stock truck here at Crandon. And this is going to get interesting on this restart. You see him lining up 2 by 2 behind Ben Holcher for this Delaware restart.
Man, the top 7 are just so fast week in and week out. Don't count out Belanger. We've seen a lot of speed out of him. Joey Machosik, he's got the fastest lap of the day so far.
He finds himself 3rd at halfway after giving up that spot to Beauchamp. Again, he was ruled to have jumped the start just by a fraction. So they made him give up 1 spot. But he is still definitely in the mix. We talked about that points battle. Belanger, the 4th man in that battle, currently 5th on the racetrack, right behind Jamie Kleikamp. You see some trouble there for the 817 of Colt Wurzba. He is going to need some help making it back to the pit area. Also see Mike Fillion in the 886 parked off to the side of the racetrack. So a couple guys whose days are done just a little bit early here in round 11 for Super Stock Truck. There is Fillion. So if you're one of those guys behind Ben Holcher, if you're Machosik, Braden Beauchamp on this restart, how do you play this?
Well, you really have to just be patient. You got to make your truck go where it likes to go. Ben Holcher, he's going to set that pace once again. We've seen a couple drivers get a little confused on the restart. But if you're Braden Beauchamp and Joey Machosik, you have to get an edge on one another because you need to clear each other if you want to get that top spot because you can't afford to battle this second half. You got to go after the leader. The ChristianCarsOnline.com pace truck of Richie Kuloff going to bring him around one final time here this evening.
We are set up for a wild one, a wild finish here in Super Stock Truck. We'll see the pace truck pull off here in just a few moments, turning the field over to Ben Holcher. It is Holcher, Machosik, Beauchamp. There you see the original start of the race where Machosik got that great jump, but we're going to get back to it here. Green flag flies. Holcher leads everybody. Whoa, as Trey Beauchamp, gets all crossed up. That's going to let the lead pack get away.
Yeah, Trey Beauchamp gets shoved up on the berm.
Wow.
He was already crossed up, so no harm, no foul there. But for Trey, man, that's a bummer deal.
And look at all those trucks that got collected. Kleikamp, I think Jorgensen's upside down there. Looks like Summers, Kosiza, Bargland, Heikala all involved. Now let's take another look at Beauchamp trying to gather it back up. Collected Kosiza, Bing got involved, Kleikamp was involved, Holiday, Summers, and that's like a stock car pile up there. Just about half the field involved in that one way or the other. And there's Jorgensen still stuck on his lid up in turn 2.
Yeah, that's definitely not a parking lot. You cannot park there. Those guys need to get back
upside
going.
down.
Now look at Ben Holcher. I told you, you're Braden Beauchamp and you're Joey Machosik. You don't want to play around too much and try to do battle. You're going to lose the leader.
Yeah, eyes on the prize. You got to run down the points leader and race leader, Ben Holcher. And here goes Machosik alongside of Braden Beauchamp, but we are going to go full course caution here.
Yeah, it's just dangerous there after the barn turn. You got a truck upside down, Jorgensen. So they were at a local caution, and then it's like, I don't know if Braden and Joey are a little confused. They get on the gas, get off the gas. Now they're back off the gas again.
Yeah, they'll get the memo from race control right in their headsets or in their race radio. So everybody now up to speed on what's going on, and we'll go back to a caution here, and we get another restart. We saw how wild it was, and you commented, maybe that's a little announcer's curse, you commented after the original start of the race that it was a good, clean start, and then you saw how much chaos there was on the restart after the halfway point. And this is interesting. So Holcher got a really great jump on that restart, was able to hold that interval and stretch it back out right away. Now this is new life for Braden Beauchamp, Joe Machosik, and you see Belanger. So now the top 4 in points. Top 4 in points are in the top 4 in the standings, as now it's going to be a red flag on the racetrack. And let's take another look at that restart. You see Beauchamp, he got a little help there from Kleikamp, and that was nobody's fault that it started that way. And then Kosiza gets to the back bumper of Beauchamp. You saw Bing, Kleikamp, Holiday, Bargland, Heikala, Summers. Shannick was also involved.
Hey, Shane,
just about everybody.
But before that contact, I believe that Trey was a little crossed up going off that jump, and Kleikamp had nowhere to go, so it's a bummer deal for a lot of trucks, and that's what happens.
So this has to be really tough for the drivers in these trucks. Your adrenaline spikes again on this restart and then slow everybody back down, and they'll have to turn it loose once again here in Super Stock Truck. We'll step out for a very brief moment. The Super Stock Truck conclusion right around the corner here at Crandon. Stay with us here at AMSOIL Championship Off-Road, presented by the U.S. Air Force.
Dirt to driveway. Race technology for the street. Champions choose Vision Wheel.
Hi, I'm Matt Werges with SCI, car chief for Austin Whalen's race car, and work on our cars. Box was a great fit for us because they come with great organization, foam inserts in our toolboxes, which is perfect for a fast-paced environment like a race shop.
There is less than 1/100th of an inch of motor oil protecting your car's engine. Friction and heat causes engine oil to experience thermal breakdown, weakening its ability to protect the engine and its parts. Lucas Heavy Duty Oil Stabilizer is specially formulated to resist thermal breakdown, protect vital engine parts, and extend the life of your engine. It also stops smoking, knocking, and oil consumption in worn engines. Lucas Heavy Duty Oil Stabilizer. Keep that engine alive. One of the main reasons for poor vehicle performance is a dirty fuel system. It can cause decreased fuel economy and actually do harm to your engine over time. By adding Lucas fuel treatment to your vehicle, it cleans and lubricates the entire fuel system, pump, carburetors, fuel injectors, and valves as you drive. It also improves your vehicle's performance. It's a non-solvent product designed to protect both gasoline and diesel engines. Lucas fuel treatment. It works.
Welcome back once again to the Big House. Super Stock Truck has been under a red flag. We're going to go back yellow flag here in a few moments. Richie Kuloff in the ChristianCarsOnline.com pace truck. Going to pick up our field again.
Yeah, that red flag, that was for, on that kind of disjointed restart there, DJ Jorgensen paid the biggest price and wound up flipped over on his lid, and you can see him out walking around under his own power, no doubt frustrated and a little bit banged up. We certainly hope DJ's okay. He's definitely one of the good guys back there in the pits. Really generous guy, always willing to make sure you're fed and hydrated. So we wish the best for DJ. Hope to see him back out there tomorrow racing in the World Championship. So you see the whole field heading back through the Argonne Loop, getting collected behind the pace car. And we'll hopefully be able to light the fuse one last time here in Super Stock Truck. And again, we talk about strategies on these restarts, Brent. Braden Beauchamp and Joe Machosik sitting right there behind Ben Holcher. I think Ben outplayed him on that previous restart, but now they get another chance. Do you think Ben throws a changeup and tries a different strategy on this restart? Maybe fires later or fires earlier? Or how do you see it playing out?
Well,
you can't even predict it, but what do you think?
It's hard to predict, but at the same time, you had a lot of time to think about what you want to do, and you try to outsmart the driver behind you. If I was Ben, I would just try to run him till the end of that stretch and take off as late as possible. But Braden Beauchamp and Joey Machosik, they're going to be on point here on this restart. It's all about that jump, Shane. You have to get that big jump on Ben Holger if you want a shot at this thing. As our time clock is stuck on 2:49. Remember, when that clock goes to 0, 2 laps to go.
And I talk about this a lot, especially when there's a long yellow or a red flag like this, but it's really tough to be behind the wheel in those moments because your adrenaline, it spikes and then it crashes back down to earth as you're sitting there just waiting to see what's going to happen. And, you know, your heart rate comes back down. You got to get yourself fired back up a little bit. Some of that comes down to the spotter, too, just making sure that the driver is, you know, mentally focused, locked in on what's about to happen here.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting on this restart, to say the least. We'll have to wait and see if Holger can hold off this tough pack of dogs here in the second half. The green flag about to fly. Here it is. We'll see if Braden Beauchamp can sneak underneath Ben Holger on this restart.
Wow, right away, Scott Belanger went to the outside of Machosik, trying to steal that spot away. See Pyburn up in the top 5 as well.
Ben Holger got a little bit over-rotated coming out of that barn turn, but he pulls Braden Beauchamp on that straightaway.
Beauchamp trying to stay down to the bottom in the gravel pit. Beauchamp almost overcooked it, had to correct on the steering wheel. That's going to let Holger sneak away just a little bit more.
Yeah, that hurts Braden Beauchamp there. He has to be ready because here comes Joey Machosik to the inside. He drives on the bottom of Braden Beauchamp. He's going to try to make that truck extra wide. He does. Here comes Belanger.
And Machosik opened the door, got past Beauchamp, and the door was left open for Belanger.
Well, Beauchamp said, hey, I want that spot back. Here comes Pyburn now.
Yeah, Pyburn's trying to join that party up in that top 4. And again, Beauchamp looks like he's having some issues with traction coming out of these corners. He's going to fall back a little bit further. Now Machosik and Holcher running away together.
Boy, Joey is really coming on strong in this second half. Watch as that 851 just hucking it into the turn. Holger over-rotates a little bit. Here comes Machosik once again.
It's going to be a little bit closer this time through Forest County, Potawatomi, turn 1, maybe about 3 car lengths. About a minute and a half left on the race clock. It's Holcher, Machosik, Beauchamp, Belanger, Pyburn, and Bing.
Boy, Joey Machosik just flat-foot in turn number 1. He looks way faster in a way compared to Holger right now.
Well, Holger is just running so smooth right now, though. He hasn't made any mistakes, even with all the chaos going on behind him. We'll see what Machosik has up his sleeve. You see Beauchamp trying to creep back up on Joey Machosik into the gravel pit. And again, Beauchamp trying that inside line.
Yeah, he's trying to apex that turn to get a good run out of the bottom. There's Machosik once again going off the Polaris flyaway. Ben Holger still holding on to that position. The green flag still out that time by.
That'll be 2 laps to go here for Super Stock Truck. We'll see if Machosik can hunt down Holcher. It's been all Ben Holcher throughout the entirety of this race, even with the extra restart. But Beauchamp starting to pick up the pace a little bit. I think it might have taken Braden a little bit to get back into race mode after that long slowdown.
Yeah, his father, Scott Beauchamp's on the headset. He's probably telling him, you know, be smart, but you got to get on that loud pedal. Time is definitely running out. Watch Machosik now, going to try to drive it in deep here in Cowboy.
Trying to outbrake Ben Holger, and Holger again letting that back end hang out a little bit. Get that power to the ground. It's closer than it was a lap ago, I can tell you that much, as they come back into turn one. Maybe a car length and a half, 2 car lengths at most between Holger and Machosik.
Wow, Machosik really getting a good drive. Here comes Braden Beauchamp once again. He looks to the inside now on Machosik.
Wow, they were fender to fender, but did not make any contact, and Machosik got a little bit crossed up. That's actually going to slow Braden down, too. He had to check up a little bit not to clean him out.
That's what makes it so hard. They're such good friends off the track as well, so they don't want to take each other out. Braden's trying to be nice and trying to pass him clean here on exit. He gets right to the back bumper again.
That's letting Holger take a couple breaths out front. Not much pressure on Holger as they enter Calamity Corner. The white flag is going to come out for Super Stock Truck. 1 lap to go and a lot to be decided here in round 11.
Going to be hard to catch Ben Holger on this final lap. If you're Joey Machosik, you really have to go now. Time is out. You have to be clean through Argonne here. You can't afford to over-rotate. If you're Machosik, you got to get a good drive.
Well, Machosik looked like he closed the gap a little bit once again. I think Holger's being a little bit more conservative than what we usually see out of him. Just trying to limit those mistakes. I'm keeping my eye on Braden Beauchamp here coming out of Cowboy Corner, though. He's been getting some insane runs down the steel at starting line straightaway.
Yeah, he was flying in that 180. We'll see they're heading back towards Forest County, Potawatomi, turn number 1, one final time. Ben Holger, Joey Machosik, and Braden Beauchamp.
Half a lap to go now for Ben Holger, and once again, Braden Beauchamp full head of steam into turn 1. This time he's set up on the outside of Machosik.
Yeah, he's going to try to do the crossover pass. He wants to get to the bottom side of Machosik. He runs out of real estate right there.
Still got a lot of momentum there in the 820, but he's hung out to dry on the outside. Machosik is going to file back in front of Braden Beauchamp.
Wow, Braden's going to try to go across the bottom. He wants to try to set up a block pass. He ain't going to get there.
Couldn't get to the front bumper of Machosik. 1 corner to go now for Ben Holger.
Well, Ben Holger taking off where he left off. He knows how to win here at Crandon. He's going to get the job done. If he can play it safe on the bottom side, he's going to do it.
Ben Holger, that has huge points implications. Like I said, Brent, he had a 14-point lead over Machosik, and he will pick up another 3 points plus the additional 1 point for leading at halfway. So that'll unofficially, by my math, be an 18-point lead coming into tomorrow. But of course, Machosik, Belanger, and Beauchamp still in the mix for that championship as well. But Ben Holger gets the job done and looked pretty comfortable out front the entirety of that race, Brent.
Yeah, he looked really, really comfy, and he's just good at what he does in that truck. And to take a big win here in Fall Crandon, that's what you want to do all season long. If you want to win one, you want to win it here at the big house.
No doubt about it. We'll take a look at the unofficial final results from round 11 Super Stock Truck, and we will step out for a moment. Top 3 about to take their spots on the podium right after this. Stay with us here at AMSOIL Championship Off-Road, presented by the U.S. Air Force.
Rocks, sand, heat. Life off-road is tough. We wouldn't have it any other way. If AMSOIL products are designed for this kind of punishment, think about what they can do for your daily driver. Upgrade to AMSOIL protection today and get fast free shipping from AMSOIL.com.
As well.
Kyle Cheney, last year's champion here, is pushing really strong.
Kyle Cheney in the 191 as he works his way through. Now,
Why Can-Am? To claim bragging rights and trophies.
When you become an AMSOIL preferred customer, you become part of the AMSOIL family, an elite group passionate about vehicle performance. You'll save up to 25% on every order. Get free shipping on orders of $100 or more. Receive a birthday gift of 5% off worth up to $5. Enjoy 5% off on your next order with every $100 you spend and receive exclusive promotional offers. Plus, when you purchase $500 in AMSOIL products in a year, your preferred customer membership renewal is free. You'll also receive our quarterly AMSOIL magazine with the latest product details, technical information, gearhead lifestyle stories, and complete product catalog. A 6-month introductory membership is only $10, and a full year is just $20. Sign up today and start saving.
Welcome back to the 54th Polaris Crandon World Championships here at AMSOIL Championship Off-Road, presented by the U.S. Air Force. And that's almost a wrap on our racing here for Champ Off-Road, round 11 of sportsman action. But first, let's meet the top 3 finishers from a wild super stock truck race. Finishing in third today from Gladstone, Michigan, Braden Beauchamp. In second from Mukwonago, Wisconsin, Joe Machosik. And taking the win here in round 11 from Oconto Falls, Wisconsin, Ben Holcher. Nolan, time and time again, Super Stock Truck delivers one heck of a show, and I'm already looking forward to this one when it comes around tomorrow afternoon.
Shane, like you, I look forward to this class every time we're racing. We're going to go on over and chat with our third place finisher, Braden Beauchamp. Braden, that looked like an absolute blast. You and Joey battling for that number 2 spot. Walk me through it the whole race long.
Yeah, man, that was awesome. It sounded like we were kind of checked out from them all. Ben drove a great race. He was real fast, and then let Joey get on the inside of me, which isn't what I was hoping to do, but no, he drove a great race too. That was a ton of fun. Hopefully we'll be racing that top spot tomorrow. Yeah, we tried a different tire setup than the other guys, and it seemed to work okay, but I think we know what we're doing for tomorrow.
Who helped you get up here today?
Man, Stu Manufacturing, Yokohama Tire, these things are fast. Deaver Spring, P-Tank Performance, Highline Internet. I got to thank my dad, my mom, brother, sister, Jarrett, TJ. My dad and Jarrett were working for weeks on this truck. I moved off to college in between Bark River and now, so they've been thrashing. Huge thanks to them for getting the truck prepped. Yeah, all my friends and family, everybody's here. It's awesome.
Congratulations, Braden Beauchamp, P3 today in Super Stock Truck. Moving on over, second place, Joey Machosik. Joe, it looked like you were driving the wheels off of that thing, buddy. I imagine it had quite a bit to do with Ben being out front and the point situation we're in.
Yeah, I know where we're at. He got a little more on me today. He's a good driver. I respect him. I don't want to win him by him going out. That's how we want to duke it out to the end, and you don't want anybody to break down so you win a championship.
Who helped you get up here today, Joe?
Yokohama Tires, Yokohama Sweep up here. Thank you to Paul, Brian, all those guys over there. Muskego Crane Service, my buddies, my mom, my buddy Brian, my buddy Zach, Josh at home, always helping me out in the shop. This is a 7-day-a-week job most of the time, and I'm thankful for those guys. They help me out so much. Same with my dad. Eye in the sky for me. That was a crazy race. He was keeping me calm, so thank you to him. He does a hell of a job up there.
Congratulations, Joe Machosik. Second place today in Super Stock Truck. And on top of the box in this one, Ben Holcher. Ben, this truck swept the weekend back in Spring Crandon. Corey was behind the wheel, and you picked up right where you left off and checked out, man.
Yeah, I knew it could do it. I knew that that's the best way to get to the front here because it's hard to pass, even if you're fast. So I knew I had to do it in the first turn, and we got her somehow. So,
where does this put you mindset-wise going into tomorrow? Extended the points lead a little bit?
I think we got to do the same thing tomorrow. That's what we got to go for. So,
I think that's how you get the most points. Who would you like to thank for getting you up here today?
Oh my God, my friends and family for keeping this thing put together and busting ass and just working on it in the shop, at the track, cleaning it, feeding me, everything. Everybody comes together as a team, and I could not do it without my friends and family team. So,
any sponsors you'd like to thank, Ben?
Oh my God, so many. JTI Trucking, Squawky for hauling this stuff here all summer. McDermott Truck Sales, Fleet Pride, NHC, BCS, Holcher Brothers, Uncle Jeff, Meat Sweats, HBI. Thank you.
Congratulations, Ben Holcher, winner today in Super Stock Truck. Let's hear it one more time for Braden Beauchamp, Joey Machosik, and Ben Holcher, your Super Stock Truck podium.
Thank you very much, Nolan, and what a great race that was once again. And Shane, hey, our job here is done, but a lot more racing yet to come after this.
Yeah, tremendous afternoon of racing here. The rest of round 11 that we saw for sportsman racing here at AMSOIL Championship Off-Road presented by the U.S. Air Force. And tell you what, man, we got a big show in store tomorrow for our champ races. Sportsman opening ceremonies, 9 a.m. Central. Tomorrow is World Championship Saturday for our sportsman racers. They'll all be racing for that championship ring. And that's it for us up here, but for all you fans here in Crandon, we're now going to turn the booth over to Miles Hasselquist and Jim Marsden for Ultra 4 Racing in the Forest County Potawatomi Friday Night Thunder.
Yeah, Shane, it's been a wonderful day. We're going to do it all over again for round 12 for the sportsmen. And for Nolan Castellian, Shane Stetsny, I'm Brent Smith. Thanks for watching AMSOIL Championship Off-Road presented by the U.S. Air Force. But before we leave, check out this GoPro moment.
Truck. See the pace truck pull off here in just a few moments, turning the field over to Ben Holcher. It is Holcher, Machosik, Beauchamp. There you see the original start of the race where Machosik got that great jump, but we're going to get back to it here. Green flag flies. Holcher leads everybody. Oh, as Trey Beauchamp, gets all crossed up, and that's going to let the lead pack get away.
Yeah, Trey Beauchamp gets shoved up on the bird. Wow. Already crossed up, so no harm, no foul there. But for Trey, man, that's a bummer deal.
Yeah, look at all those trucks that got collected in Clyde-Camp. I think Jorgensen's upside down there. Looks like Summers, Kosiza, Barkland, Michael, all involved there. Let's take another look at Beauchamp trying to gather it back up. Collected Kosiza, Big got involved. Clyde-Camp was involved.
Speed Sport live from the 54th Polaris Crandon World Championships, presented by Toyota. Let's go places. Hi everybody, I'm Ralph Shaheen, and this is the Big House. It's Labor Day weekend, and there's no place I'd rather be than right here in Crandon, Wisconsin for the biggest, most prestigious weekend in short course off-road racing. And just like that, it's time to go racing here at the Big House. Let's go to the booth, and Miles Hasselquist and James Marsden with the call of our first race of the weekend. Take it away, guys.
Thank you very much, Ralph. It's so good to be back here in Crandon. Miles, what do we think?
This is going to be absolutely amazing. Obviously, that race took a little bit longer than we anticipated, but we are about to go live racing for the Forest County Potawatomi Friday Night Thunder for the Optima Batteries Crandon Classic. We have two races going on at the same time as we speak. This will be the Open and the Stock UTVs, Jim.
It is indeed. It's so good to see the Ultra 4 cars back here in Crandon and lining up right now. It is the UTV Open class and the UTV Stock class.
And they are 10 wide right now with Paul Wolf on the pole position on the inside. And we are live racing going to the Potawatomi turn number 1, a shorted little stretch right here. And we are live racing going on right now.
We are indeed, and here's our pole sitter. It's Mr. Paul Wolf. He's stretching out a lead already as he makes his way over that sky jump into the first corner, sets the car up nice.
He's got RJ Anderson hot on his heels, and look, it got a little watered, and RJ got a little sideways, but keeps her under control. Paul Wolf heading into the Spider Track backstretch.
Now you'll note, oh no, Paul Wolf, now he's checking up there as they make their way into, this is the Spider Track's backstretch, across the rocks for the first time.
This just shows you what these cars can do. So RJ Anderson on the inside, Paul Wolf on the outside with a little bit more traction, it looks like, as they'll be heading towards the Yukon launch. And look at the Spider Track's rocks right there. What a great spectacle we have on our hands, Jim.
We do indeed, as Paul Wolf makes his way into the distance. Now, Miles, let's talk about this course, because this course is different to the course we've seen the other cars racing today.
We threw in these little rock sections today. This is the mid-track. And then tomorrow night, we'll do the full Ultra-Cross track and head back into the Project X Rage on the rocks. But right now, they're heading through the granite boulders right in front of the grandstands here at the Big House. And Paul Wolf is in the lead on this 7-lap race. Remember, there are 2 races going on at the same time. But right now, it's Paul Wolf in the Pro Mod in his first position. And RJ Anderson is running in the Open class. So that is first place in each class. But overall,
yeah, that looked like it was Dustin Robbins who's made his way up there into 3rd position.
And you saw Cam Zollers, the 395, pulled over just a moment ago.
Yeah, coming on down through, it is our pole setter. It is Paul Wolf who is leading there. Now, we're not seeing Paul's tracker showing on the score sheet, so if you're looking on the score sheet at home, don't take that. He is on track right now and leading this race, making his way down through the Spider Track's backstretch and heading on into those rocks.
And look how fast he cruises through there. That's a little bit of a gamble there, because if you can catch a rock just wrong, you can smoke a wheel, a tire, and that could just lead to a lot of bad headaches out there. We do have the AMSOIL hot pits, but if you head in there, your race is probably over. You can finish, but it's going to be a tough day for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And 3 wheels on his wagon. That looks like one of the Zollinger cars there.
That is Travis Zollinger with the right rear on that Pro Modified class. Tough break for him, but he will take it back to the pits and hop in his Pro Modified class for the next race.
Absolutely. Now, let's talk about this, Miles. What is happening tonight? Because this isn't for championship points. This is all about guns and glory and that famous Crandon ring.
There's been lots of talk about that Crandon ring. All of our racers are super excited to get one of those. So tonight is basically a heat race. You get the Crandon ring and then get you all set up for tomorrow's points race for the Eastern Series Championship here in Crandon, Wisconsin at the Big House. I see Dustin Robbins pulled over. There is a parking lot out on this track, Jim.
There is indeed, but at the moment it's all about this man. It is Mr. Paul Wolf.
He is racing almost everything this weekend. He is in his Open class car right now. He'll switch over to do the Pro Mod next, and then tomorrow he will hop in his 4400 UFO and race once again. So Paul Wolf is really charging hard with Ultra 4 USA, and what a great race we have as he heads into the Spider Track's backstretch.
Now, Ultra 4 racing for most of us, and we see more carnage out there on track. Another vehicle with only 3 wheels on it. And that looks like that is the 106 there of Stephen Rogers.
Tough break for Steven. He had a good run going. What a great race. RJ Anderson still running strong. Tyler Gibbs, Mark McCleary, Jason Sushi, Nathan Parker.
Then Brian Hamby, Jody Ford, Josh Smith, Aaron Lynch, and Rodney Van Peren.
Chris May, Jack Letourneau, and Jeremy Blackburn. Remember, there are 2 races going on at the same time, and there is 1018. That is Mr. Paul Wolf, our physical race leader, and in the open class.
Now let's just talk about this. This is very different to the kind of racing we normally do with Ultra 4. So this is short course racing. So unusually for us, we wouldn't normally have spotters, but on this race, all of these teams have spotters in the tower who will be telling them what is happening out on track.
There's Nathan Parker coming through, making a strong run.
Yeah, Nathan Parker at the moment, he's just sitting there in 4th position, so a fantastic run there from Nathan Parker as the 1-1-3 there of Aaron Lynch makes his way through and up into 8th position. This is a 7.5 lap race. Now, you may be wondering, where does the half come from? That literally the very first lap they do half a lap before they cross the line to start their first real lap.
And there's another shot of Travis Zollinger, that beautiful ZRP machine. Tough break for him, but he's got some redemption in this next race as we're heading into the gravel pit with Paul Wolf, the number 1018. After his daughter's birthday, that's where that race number comes from. Love that. It is a family-friendly affair here at Ultra 4 USA. We're heading into Calamity Court.
And this is the Optima Batteries Crandon Classic, and at the moment it's a classic display of driving genius from this man, Paul Wolf.
And I love how these cars can race here at the Big House, doing the best short course race we have of the season, and then we go race King of the Hammers. We race Pennsylvania, the woods and the trees, and a little bit of everything.
And look at this, Paul Wolf is coming into lap traffic. Now, normally we'd ask a question here, is lap traffic going to play a part? But Paul Wolf is so hugely experienced, I think he'll just pick his way through.
And that goes back to the spotters, because they can say, hey, you have Paul Wolf, the race leader, coming behind you, so they usually pull over, because we are all very sportsmen here at Ultra 4.
Yeah, and that's absolutely right, so they will be saying that in the tower.
Gets around Clay Wallstead right there. Lots of action. There is Jeremy Blackburn.
Now I'm just looking
and
up
Austin Warren.
Yeah, I'm looking here. There is a change in the top 3. I do not see RJ Anderson up there anymore. It looks like Taylor Gibbs has moved up into 2nd place, and in 3rd is Nathan Parker. There are cars dropping like flies out there this afternoon, Miles.
In 4th, Mark McCleary, then Jason Sushi, Josh Smith, Aaron Lynch.
Then after Aaron Lynch is Chris May, Jack Letourneau, then Rodney Van Peren, Brandon Mimic, Jeremy Blackburn, Jody Ford, Brian Hamby, and Owen Van Peren.
What a great action we have out on course. There's so much going on with these extra rock sections. Thanks everybody for staying in the seats. This is a packed house here at Crandon as we're heading through the Spider Track backstretch. There's Nathan Parker, part of Team Momentum. This young man's only 14 years old and can run with the big dogs.
He is, and at the moment he's in the top 3, currently sitting in 3rd position. And there is our race leader, the 1018 of Mr. Paul Wolf.
In the Brannick Boulders, driving around some broken parts out here. These rocks are really tough on equipment. They can take out wheels and tires with just the wrong hit. And lap traffic is getting to be a little bit of an issue as Jason Wofford, he does pull onto the inside, and Paul Wolf cranks her up and heads just around this little short track around the spotters tower.
Now, your Paul Wolf spotter, what are you going to be saying to Paul? Are you going to be saying check up a bit, save the car, or are you going to be saying go, go?
Well, you got to figure out how far back Tyler Gibbs is because they are both in that open class. But Paul Wolf is getting some great seat time because he'll be running in the Pro Modified class right after this race.
Yeah, he really did. We're just looking now to see where the gap is. Physical on Taylor Gibbs. It's the 9:26. And as soon as I've got that info, I will let you have it.
It was about just 15 seconds last lap around.
Yeah, and we've just seen 3rd place Mr. Nathan Parker going through there. He's around about 20 seconds behind Paul Wolf.
Well, you say 3rd place, that's physical 3rd. Nathan Parker is leading the stock class as we speak with Aaron Lynch in 2nd in stock, Mark McCleary 3rd in stock. In open, it's Paul Wolf, Tyler Gibbs, and then Jason Sushi. Remember, there are 2 races going on at the same exact time here at the Big House.
It is indeed, and it's worth noting that these all fall under the banner of 4,900 in Ultra 4 UTV.
There's Mitchell Roccacelli heading through out of Beaver Dam, Virginia. But back to Paul Wolf, the man on a mission, heading through the Brannick Boulders right here in front of the grandstand.
Yeah, just looking at Paul Wolf there. He's now starting his 6th lap, I believe. Making his way around.
This is a 7.5 lap race, so we're winding down.
And there's still a lot of racing to do here, Miles. There's a lot of positions to fight for. As you say, we've got 2 top 3s on course today.
This is the Optima Batteries Crandon Classic here for the Forest County Potawatomi Friday Night Thunder, and lots of Ultra 4 action yet to come tonight. Most of the day or all evening tomorrow, and then we get a race on Sunday as well for the 4400 class main event.
Indeed. So in 3rd position at the moment, it's Jason Sushi in the Open UTV. Then in 2nd position in Open UTV, it's Tyler Gibbs. But at the moment, it's our pole sitter is Mr. Paul Wolf in 1st position Open UTV and in 1st position overall.
And in stock class, it is Mark McCleary in that 3rd spot, Aaron Lynch in number 2, and Nathan Parker leading the stock class.
Yeah, Nathan Parker is 3rd physically on track at the moment. What a fantastic run from this young man.
Yeah, the stock class has to have an OEM chassis, 33-inch tires. The Open is build it, dream it, make it happen. They're racing Pro Rs out there and everything else.
Yeah, look at this. This is our race leader, 1018, Mr. Paul Wolf, and he makes these rocks look so easy.
But look at the bomb coming through right behind him. I believe that might be Tyler Gibbs.
I think it might well be. He sniffs.
So Tyler Gibbs is really trying to reel in.
I was just watching Tyler there. Has he got a flat tire? I don't want to jinx it, but I was just looking. The car just looked out of shape there. Or am I seeing things? We'll find out in a moment. And we watch Paul Wolf.
We are on the final lap of this race. Next time around for Paul Wolf or Tyler Gibbs will be the checkered flag. And you know the spotters in Paul Wolf's ear saying, hey, Tyler's pushing. He is coming for you. So Paul's got to really be on his game right now as he's heading into the Spider Track backstretch.
Yeah, he's already checking out his hands and thinking, which finger am I going to put that ring on? But he needs to keep it together now. Look at the pace as he goes through those Spider Tracks rocks.
And if I'm not mistaken, he is driving that same exact car in the next race, so he has to think about that. He has to save it for his points race as well. But Tyler's right behind him as they head into the Yukon launch. One more turn to go for Paul Wolf as he's getting a little lap traffic with Van Effen.
Yeah, be coming around now, and he's going to be getting the checkered flag as he comes around Calamity Corner. And there he is. Paul Wolf gets the checkered flag, and he'll be taking home a ring tonight. But can he make it 2 miles?
What a fun race that was to watch. Paul Wolf and Tyler Gibbs battled all the way to the end. What a clean race for those two, but it is a parking lot out on course. I can just physically count about 5 cars missing tires, missing some stuff. It is definitely carnage ensued out there, Jim.
It is indeed. Now, we're used to seeing these cars racing on more open courses with trees, big rocks, big boulders. So I always smile to myself when we come to the big house here and we see the carnage that takes place in front of us. And that's because these boys and girls are working so hard out on track to give us the best racing they can.
They gave it their all, so it looks like unofficially it is Paul Wolf, Tyler Gibbs, Parker.
In 4th is Sush, in 5th, Lynch.
Then 6th is Smith.
7th is Laterne.
8th, McCleary.
In 9th is May.
10th is Jeremy Blackburn.
In 11th is Mimic.
Van Eppen.
In 13th, also Van Eppen.
14th is Wofford.
In 15th is Woolstead.
16th, Roccacelli.
In 17th is Gilbert.
18th is Roberts.
And 19th is Starrett.
In 20th position is Heidig.
What a fantastic race there, Mars, but this is only a taste of things to come. We still have another UTV race in our 4900 class, and then it's to the EMC.
It's going to be a great weekend of racing. Thank you for everybody staying tuned in. We're about to give away some of those Crandon rings here momentarily. Thanks for each and every one of you for staying tuned in. It's been a wonderful day of racing. I loved watching the Champ Off-Road racing just a little bit ago. That was a lot of fun. But now it is Ultra 4 USA here in Crandon, Wisconsin at the Big House for the Optima Batteries Crandon Classic.
Yeah, and next it will be at the Optima Batteries Crandon Classic. It will be the Ultra 4 4900 UTV Pro Mod class. Another 7.5 laps, and we've got 25 cars that are going to be racing in that. And some of these cars are simply epic. Cannot wait to see this one. And then while they're lining up, we'll be taking a look here. But Miles, let's just talk about that guy, Paul Wolf. I mean, he started at the front. He just dominated that race all the way through. Is anybody going to have anything for him when we get into this Pro Mod race?
It's going to be interesting. He just got the best seat time you could ever have.
Yeah, so as we're looking here, I'm just looking at the starting order for the next race. And in pole position, would you believe it? It is going to be Mr. Paul Wolf. In second is Mike Park. In third position, it will be Zach Pollock.
And fourth is going to be Kyle Cheney. But what a wonderful race we just got done watching. Sounds like we have a Rugged Race Radio's highlight package coming with us right now. So there's Paul Wolf on the hole shot with RJ Anderson right on his tail.
Now, RJ was staying with him and actually looked like he was going to give some problems. And you see him go fully sideways there as he makes his way around. And, of course, then we saw Travis Zollinger making his way off track. But just look at the pace here. That's Nathan Parker.
And I hope you guys and gals love the rocks just as much as we do as he hits the Yukon launch. Paul Wolf swept the UTV World last year. Looks like our next race is getting lined up as we speak, so we should be live racing after we clear some course and give away some Crandon rings.
Yeah, now Paul Wolf's going to have to make his way back up to the start line for this one. Now, it's unusual in as much that he can actually race both races. A lot of the races that we race with Ultra 4, it'd be not possible as we race all of the 4900s at the same time, but not here at Crandon, which means that we've got multiple people running in different classes and in different races. And I love that, Miles.
And I'm right in front of the booth of us. I see Paul Wolf did not go towards the podium, so he's heading back because he wants to race his next race. So we're going to try to keep things running as quick as we can, but we do have two classes heading towards the podium with our one and only Mrs. Pam Hall. We'll throw it down here just in a little bit. And there's a young man of Nathan Parker, 14 years old, and just unofficially won his first race here at the Big House.
Yeah, what a fantastic display of driving there. And to win the stock UTV, I mean, that is a heavy-hitting class these days. I mean, you look at the talent that's in there, so a superb drive there from Nathan Parker. Now, this is interesting because this is not a points race. We were talking about that earlier. But tomorrow is going to be a points race. It's going to be interesting to see what these guys can do. They're going to have to get these cars back to the pits. They're going to have to strip them down and get them race ready once again and ready for tomorrow's action.
It's going to be very interesting to see how it shakes out because it's for our Eastern Series Championship for tomorrow's points race. And right now, leading the open class is Jeff Donda. He's not here. Cody Quattlebaum, we just saw him broke down on course in second. Peyton Dunford in that third. We just saw her have a great race. And then in the stock class, it's Jason Wofford. He was mid-pack. Jody Ford, mid-pack. Chris May, mid-pack. So it's going to be anybody's game going into tomorrow's race. It's going to be very interesting to see how it all plays out.
It is, and also I love this style of racing. It's so different to what we're used to seeing. And so you see cars, and let's take Cody Quattlebaum, for example. We'd normally expect to see Cody right at the front. He's been struggling out there. And short course is such a different style of racing, isn't it?
Yeah, there's so much action because you can't. We're used to kind of a sprint endurance where we race for an hour and a half or sometimes. Well, right now it's a 15-minute wide open sprint through the rocks. So sometimes when we're racing at a normal race, they kind of go a little slower over the rocks to try to save the car. Right now, you can tell Paul Wolf was wide open and just made it through the Brynick boulders and the Spider Track backstretch.
Yeah, we can see Pam Hall there, just getting the drivers to hurry on up, get up on that podium. We've got a little bit behind on our racing this afternoon. We'll just be wanting to move this along and get the next race started.
Giving each other the little handshakes and high fives.
But how exciting is this, Mars? If this is your first time racing at Crandon and you got to be walking up there on that podium.
It's going to be a great sight to see. And then who else is excited to watch Kiss later on tonight? What a great weekend it is here.
It is. It just gets bigger and bigger. It's my first time in Crandon last year, and my mind was blown when I came back. Cannot believe the changes and how good it feels. The crowd.
Speaking about the changes, they added that Spider Track backstretch. That is the one on the far side down by the VIP booths over there on the other side. The Flannerys have been working months and months in to make this place amazing, and that extra little rock section there is awesome. And then out back tomorrow night for the Project X Rage on the Rocks, they've added a rhythm section, a bake turn, and it is going to be lit up and a great time. And then the back section, they built a huge parking lot with over 120 camp spots, 40 by 80 camp spots, because a lot of our guys and gals shows up in semis. So the Flannerys, hats off to the entire Crandon crew for putting this all together.
Yeah, they want us here for the future, and we want to come back here racing, that's for sure. The thing that gets me with these rocks, Miles, is you walk out onto them, and when you're sat here, they don't look that big. You go down there, and those rocks are bigger than the wheels and tires on these UTVs.
And they just really kind of have to gamble every time, because you can pick a line, but you can bounce off just a little bit, and it can really cause some havoc, as we just saw.
Yeah, I mean, we saw how many vehicles there had lost wheels, how many vehicles had broken linkages, how many vehicles had broken arms. This is the kind of stuff that we love, and that's why we love Ultra 4 racing.
Especially here at the Big House. I got invited, I think it was 3 years ago, to come out here, and it's been a bucket list item, and now we're going to be back year after year, I hope. We've got building a great relationship with them, but what a wonderful, wonderful day it has been thus far, but it is not over yet.
Indeed. And while we're waiting for more action here, we're going to cut out to a short commercial break. We'll be back soon.
You're on the team, kid. It's orientation day.
Hey, new guy. Let's get you up to speed.
Lunchtime.
Your workspace is ready.
Looks like you got a corner office.
Be part of something greater. Toyota. Let's go places.
You're watching Speed Sport 1, your home for great American grassroots racing.
It's time to rumble!
Whether you're into sprint cars or stock cars,
At the line!
modifieds or midgets,
Down to the low side, retake the lead!
dirt lane models or demolition derby,
Oh!
Speed Sport 1 has the grassroots action you love.
Oh, you kidding me?
Speed Sport 1, the Motorsports Network.
To the team.
Who wants to race?
I like this team.
Be part of something greater. Toyota. Let's go places.
You're watching Speed Sport 1, your home for great off-road racing from America and around the globe. From Ultra 4 to rallies. These guys are fighting for the lead.
It seems very aggressive.
Short course to desert race.
Great move there. He is so fast.
Whether on two wheels or four, Speed Sport 1 has the off-road action you crave.
Look at that move. It jumps to the inside.
Speed Sport 1, the Motorsports Network.
Welcome back to the Forest County Potawatomi Friday Night Thunder for the Ultra 4 Optima Batteries Crandon Classic. What a great race we just had for the for the open class and the stocks. We have our one and only Mrs. Pam Hall going to give away some of those Crandon rings. Pam, take it away.
Thanks, Miles and Jim. I am up here at the podium with Mr. Jason Soucy. You just finished third place in the UTV Open class. A great race out there for you. Your second time racing out here at Crandon. How do you feel right now?
I feel pretty good, considering last year I made it like 3 laps total in practice and everything. So it's good. It's good to be up here, that's for sure.
Well, you got that number 3 spot. I know there's other races going on, so your other 2 competitors are not up here on the podium with you right now, but feeling pretty good up here after last year, like you were just saying. And How else, who all would you like to thank for getting you up here today?
I'd like to thank my wife and kids for being supportive of racing, because we're from Utah, it's a long ways. And I want to thank my boss, Travis Zollinger, the ZRP. Wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. And he's out there on the line too, going again. But yeah, pretty much just those guys and everybody back at the shop that makes all the parts that a lot of these guys have. So that's it.
Well, you guys really put the parts to test. I mean, what a way to test the parts that you guys are selling to everybody as you guys come out here and race on them yourself. So it's definitely a testament to your company.
Yeah, it is. I mean, my car, we didn't touch it since Disney last year. And that race was brutal. And there it is, still in one piece.
Well, congratulations on that number 3 spot. We'll let you go so you can go watch the boss man. So we are going to move right on over now to our 4,900 stock class. We have in the number 3 position, Mark McCleary. Second position, Aaron Lynch. And in that number 1 position, Mr. Nathan Parker. All right, sorry about that. We're going to start right here with Mr. Mark McCleary. You are out here in that number 3 spot up here on the podium. How are you feeling right now?
Pretty good, considering I did about 6 laps on a flat tire. It was brutal, but the course is awesome out there. It's fun.
Yeah, they definitely put a good course together for sure for you guys, but how do you feel for being in this number 3 spot?
It's awesome. I'm glad I could hold on to it. Like I said, I had a flat tire for 5 laps, and I held on to it, and I'm happy.
Awesome. Well, who do you want to thank for getting you out here today?
I got to thank Jason at Dirt Monkey Performance. I got to thank PATV, Turned Up Racing, Demon Power Sports, and Raceline Wheels, MRT Tires. Without them, I couldn't do this.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on that number 3 spot. All right, we're going to move right on over here in the number 2 spot. Mr. Aaron Lynch, you got a fan club out here. We can hear them yelling. You're feeling good right now, aren't you?
Yes, ma'am.
So any challenges out there for you today?
I'm a little underpowered. Got roosted right off the bat, pulled out half of my tear off first lap. Try to keep the car together in the rocks. I seen Mark was hurt and in the rocks, and I was like, I'm going to full send it through the rocks. So I full sent through the rocks, and I managed to get second.
Well, here you are, number 2, like you just said. Who do you want to thank for getting you up here today?
I'd like to thank MRT Tires. I don't even know. There's so many. ZRP, CT Raceworks, High Lifter Wheel and Tire, Lynchworks, MFN Performance, and my wife.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on that number 2 spot. We'll catch you again out here on course again tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. All right, we're going to move right on over here to the number 1 position. 14-year-old Nathan Parker, how are you feeling right now being on top of the box at the big house?
It feels good considering we didn't have a good qualifying. Had to start all the way in the back, so it feels good to be able to work our way up front.
So how do you feel about coming out here and racing against all these boys that have been racing for a long time, being the young age you are?
Oh, it feels good. Definitely a good confidence booster. And I love this track, so I think that really helped. Definitely one of my favorite tracks so far.
Awesome. Well, who do you want to thank for getting you up here today?
Performance East, CT Raceworks, Deep Creek ATV Park, Evolution Power Sports, and everybody else that helped me get here. Oh, and Jeb, who was on the radio the whole time.
It definitely takes a great spotter for you out here at short course, right?
Yes, ma'am, it does.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on that number 1 spot. Super proud of you being a young gentleman out here racing with all of these people that have been racing for a long time, so congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, and we're going to take it back up to Miles and Jim. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Pam. Miles, it's so good to see these people down there. Nathan Parker, he looks so serious. I wouldn't be doing that. I'll be blubbing in tears and thanking my mum, dad, God, and everyone else I could think of.
But that young chap just pulled it together and made it happen. But, yeah, he's such a good young man.
He is indeed. What a seasoned professional for a young man of such a young age. And right now, let's look at this. This is our next race in the 4900 Ultra 4 UTV class, and this is the Pro Mods.
And on that pole position, we just saw him win his race is the 1018 of Mr. Paul Wolf.
In second is Mike Parker.
In third is Zach Pollard.
In fourth is Kyle Cheney.
In fifth is Jamie McCoy.
In sixth, it is Cole Clark.
And then Cash LaCroix.
Now, looking forward to seeing this young man. We're more used to seeing him in a rock bouncer, so it'll be great to see what he can do. In eighth is Travis Zollinger.
Then Carson Atkins.
In 10th is Brandon Kilgore.
Chris Ambery, driven by James Cantrell.
Indeed, in 12th, it's Jake Versey.
Then Corey Willis.
Then Adam Coots,
Matt Walraven,
Dustin Robbins,
Tyler Gibbs,
Mitch Wooford,
Cam Zollers,
John Seaman,
Tyler Rimreed,
Tony Polari,
Brandon Anderson,
Todd Remereed,
Todd Beckett,
and Gavin Smith rounds out the field. And it's not going to be very long now, Miles, until they go live.
And this is the Pro Modified class. These are the fastest UTVs out there normally. It is based on an OEM chassis. Aftermarket chassis are allowed. Must use a stock suspension pickup points. Reinforcing is allowed. Must run full front plastic, 1,000cc maximum engine, and a 35-inch maximum tire, but aftermarket turbos are allowed.
Yeah, this is going to be absolutely great guns, and we're looking at this lineup now. Just look at them. They really are ready, but you'll see the differences in these vehicles. We're just looking there. I think that's Jamie McCoy sat there.
It is indeed. And winning the Pro Modified class last year here at the Big House was Mr. Tyler Gibbs, who just got in second place. But last year in second was Travis Zollinger and then Carson Atkins. All three of those guys will be out on course in this next race, another 7.5 lap race. It's about a 1.5 mile course here with the mid-track. A few rock sections thrown in there, and they are about to go to battle.
They are indeed. We're just looking at the car number 20 there. That will be Travis Zollinger. We literally saw him drive the wheels off his other vehicle only moments ago. And it looks like they're engaging gears.
There's Cole Clark coming into screen. We're 10 wide. 2.5 rows deep. This is going to be a great race. Roughly 25 cars about to take the green flag for the Ultra 4 USA Optima Batteries Crandon Classic here for the Forest County Potawatomi Friday Night Thunder.
Any second now, Miles, they're going to be bursting forth from the line and charging down towards that Forest County Turn 1 Potawatomi. I cannot wait to see this. Now, let's not forget, this is all about racing for rings once again as we watch the starter making his way down through the line. He'll make his way to the tower, find that green flag, and we're only literally moments away.
This is going to be one heck of a race. Please don't go anywhere. Thanks again to Speed Sport 1, AOE.TV. This is about to go down. Up next will be the Everyman Challenge. We'll have 3 races going on at the same time. The 4600 Spider Track Stock Class, the 4500 Yukon Gear and Axle Modified Class, and the 4800 Brannick Motorsports Legends Class. There's the yellow flag. The green flag is flying, and we are hot and going. And Mr. Paul Wolf looks like he's going to get the whole shot once again, but he does have Cash LaCroix on the outside, and it looks like Kyle Cheney right in the mix. We are 3 wide, and Kyle Cheney racing for Robert Parker just get by both of them in one pass.
He does indeed. Fantastic. Let's not forget, though, Paul Wolf's car has already raced one race here. What's it got left? Has it got enough to be able to be competitive against Kyle Cheney? That Kyle Cheney they call the Ghost because he just disappears when he's out in front.
But look at that. Paul Wolf just goes for the pass and gets around Kyle Cheney, and that is seat position. He knew where those rocks were. Side by side, open wheels action, getting a little touched up, but Kyle Cheney and Paul Wolf are battling out there in those Can-Ams.
They are indeed. See Kyle Cheney there. Just as I said, they call him the Ghost. Being wound back in there by Paul Wolf.
And there is Cash Lee Croy right behind them, racing in Jay Shaw's old car. So 1, 2, 3 is Paul Wolf, Kyle Cheney, and Cash Lee Croy as they're heading into the Brannick Boulders. Oh, did I hear a tire? It looks like, is it the right rear of Paul Wolf? Yes, it is. I can hear it from the booth. Paul Wolf has a right rear flat tire, so Kyle Cheney should get around him pretty quick.
There's big contact there from Kyle Cheney as he makes his way past Paul Wolf. He's got to be careful there. Now, it looks like Paul Wolf has 2 flat tires.
He sent her a little bit too hard, so tough break for Paul Wolf.
Yeah, I think
that's racing.
I think he also might have a control arm there broken. But right now, it's all about this guy. This is Kyle Cheney racing for Robert Parker.
You guys here at Crandon are used to that name. He races with Champ Off-Road, but it looks like he may have a soft right rear tire as well.
It's all drama here at the Big House, and I think you're right there, Miles, as we watch him sliding on in. Hard to tell at this angle.
Nope,
that's good.
Cash Lee Croy behind him had the soft tire. I do apologize, but Kyle Cheney, number 900, racing for Robert Parker, racing strong into the Polaris gravel pit. Taking a little bit outside because you can see how wet it is on the inside. That's right where him and Paul Wolf made contact on the first lap.
Now, you were talking about this earlier as we watch our current race leader making their way down to Calamity Turn. Now, you were talking about this earlier. It's a gamble how hard you hit these rocks. And we watched
That's not Travis.
That's Cole Clark.
That is Cole Clark there in the single-seater.
And right behind him is Chris Ambergy, driven by James Cantrell.
And just look how wet it is out there on course. This extra moisture on course causing all kinds of havoc for these drivers.
And it looks like Jake Versey, number 43, has a flat tire as well. So they are hitting these rocks, and they are really starting to take their toll. So that's strategy. How hard do you run? Do you want to run up front, or do you want to run mid-pack and save the car and save it for the end of the race? This is a 7.5 lap race here at the Big House in Crandon, Wisconsin, as we're watching the Brannick boulders right in front of the stage, and more tires are smoked right there.
Yeah, it's really interesting watching tactics there. Watching Jamie McCoy picking his lines through there very, very gingerly indeed. I think this race could be a war of attrition. We've already seen race leader and our previous race winner, Paul Wolf, go out with a double flat. And there's flat tires all over this course as we see another car making its way through. But there is our race leader. That is car number 900, Carl Cheney.
And he is on a mission out front with pretty good lead. Last time around, he had an 8-second lead. So you know his spotter's telling him, oh, there's Cashley Croy with that right rear flat tire. And Travis Zollinger is right on his heels, so he should overtake him there in the Polaris gravel pit. He takes the inside, but it's a lot slicker down there, so it's going to push him out. Getting a little bit slideways right there, but gets around Cashley Croy. Travis Zollinger moves into that second position.
He does indeed. Great drive there. Single-seater Polaris from Travis Zollinger.
That is a single-seat Can-Am, custom built by Zollinger Racing Products.
I do apologize. That's a change.
That is a beautiful car. We just saw his car lost a right rear on the last race, but this single-seat Can-Am is pushing strong. But Cashley Croy, with that right rear flat tire, is still pushing strong.
Oh, Cashley Croy took a big hit there, and he has got a flat now on the front as well. You can just see that. He literally stopped the car dead.
So it looks like it is Mike Park, then Tyler Gibbs, Cole Clark, Jamie McCoy, Carson Atkins. What a lot of action all over this race.
Yeah,
there's Tyler Gibbs and Mike Park, then Cashley Croy.
Yeah, now Cashley Croy is going to have a tough day at the office now. 2 flat tires, both on the passenger side.
Coming around Potawatomi, turn number 1 into the barn turn.
And there he is, our race leader, the Ghost.
Kyle Cheney back at the Spider Track backstretch, and that car still looks like it's in excellent position. Remember, this is just the heat race, getting everything set up for tomorrow's Eastern Series Championship.
But they are racing for rings today, Miles.
And Tyler Gibbs sends it, trying to get around Mike Park, but they get a little contact. Did Gibbs hit a right rear tire? He does. He lost the right rear, so center a little bit too hard, bub.
And that's the gamble you were talking about earlier, Miles. Send it too hard on those rocks, and those rocks will bite you.
These are 35-inch tires. As we're back with Cashley Croy in the number 17 of Jay Shaw's Adventure Lifestyle car. Now he's still pushing.
He is indeed. This is a car that actually qualified second overall in Visions only a few weeks ago.
And that car is actually one of Kyle Cheney's old King of the Hammers winning cars, so it's been around the block for a while. We're back to Travis Zollinger in the Argonne corner.
Yeah, the difference of these vehicles is what I enjoy about it. They take that rule book, they tear it apart, and they build the very best vehicles they can.
So Mike Park in that physical third position, and there's the 395 of Cam Zollers, pulled over once again with a right front. Looks like a ball joint issue, so tough break 2 races in a row for Cam Zollers.
Literally a tough break, Miles. And still the action continues here as we watch the Ultra 4 4900 class, and this is the UTV Pro Mods. 7.5 laps around this battle-hardened Crandon track.
There's the caveman of Brandon Anderson out in front of this car. These cars are getting muddy. It's getting harder to tell who is who out on course for the Ultra 4 USA Optima Batteries Crandon Classic here at the Big House. There's Peyton Dunford, one of our young female drivers out there having some fun.
Indeed, we're just around about halfway, or just over halfway through this race. And you can see people, they're already struggling with visibility.
Ran out of tear-offs already.
Now, this is our race leader, Carl Cheney. I was just wondering if he was slowing down there for a moment.
No, he is getting around some Zach Pollard of some lap traffic.
Yeah, he's looking good. Let's not forget all of these drivers have spotters up in the tower, and they'll be talking to them and telling them what's going on.
There's Matt Walraven battling with James Cantrell.
Now, we were chatting to James earlier today. We said, what are you going to do? He said, you know what? I'm just going to fill the course and see what happens.
And have some fun, and that's what the main event is out here, is fun.
Now,
just like all you fans here in the grandstands.
Just watching James's car there, I just wonder if that front end's pulling properly. Seem to be roosting hard at the back. Oh, look at this now. Is that?
That's Cole Clark. It looks like a left front flat tire for him. And Cashley Croy still has those two right flat tires. He has dropped back to 6th position. Mr. Cash for his first time racing with Ultra 4 USA.
Yeah, and you can see him there working the microfiber cloth hard as he tries to see where he's going.
But if he can salvage a top 10, that'll put him on the front row. So right now, for the young man of Cashley Croy, it's all about strategy. But there's our physical race leader, Kyle Cheney, driving for Mr. Robert Parker.
Yeah, he comes around now to complete his 5th lap. 2.5 or 2 laps left now for Kyle Cheney.
And don't forget, you can pull into the AMSOIL hot pits, but your race is probably going to be over. You're probably going to lose quite a few positions if you pull in there.
Well, you're going to at least 2 laps, I would imagine.
That was John Seaman. Now we're back to Travis Zollinger, Zach Pollard, and it looked like Mike Park.
Yeah, if you look at the back of the rocks there, those are really starting to stand up on the back of that Brannock rock pile, and it looks like they're starting to move around and change.
So they're changing every single lap. There's Jamie McCoy.
Right, we just saw there was Jamie McCoy picking his way through. Let's keep an eye on Jamie McCoy. I'm expecting him to start making his way up through the field.
And look, Cash is still pushing. Ooh, we got Jamie McCoy making a pass on the inside over Jake Versey as he hits the Yukon launch, but then Jamie checks up. Not sure what happened there.
Yeah, that's unusual for Jamie. Jamie's usually...
left front flat tire for Jamie McCoy. Tires are an issue here, Jim.
They are indeed. Now,
Matt Walraven gets around?
Yeah, I was watching Jamie. I knew he's a very tactical player. I was expecting to hold back a little bit and then really hit the ground hard, but that flat tire is going to slow him down.
The Brannock boulders are certainly showing to be a tough obstacle here for the Forest County Potawatomi Friday Night Thunder. There's Mitch Wofford, the single-seat Polaris.
You beat me to it there, Miles.
We just saw his dad, Jason Wofford, run the last race, but it looks like is he pulling off or just
heading out wide? He'd probably find that his spotter said to him, he's got traffic behind him, get out of the way.
I think he's a little off pace even more than that,
yeah,
Jim.
just
so tough break for him.
Yeah, just looking also, it looks like he had his visor up and it looks like his eyes were full of mud. So, yeah, very difficult conditions out there.
Right now, it's still Kyle Cheney out front, then Mike Park, Travis Zollinger, John Seaman, Carson Atkins, Todd Beckett,
Cole Clark, Jake Versey, Matt Walraven, Jamie McCoy, Cash LaCroix, Chris Hamburgy, Mitch Wofford, Brandon Anderson, and Zach Pollard.
And Jim, while you're reading that off, the white flag did come out for Mr. Kyle Cheney.
So he's on his final lap now. We're only a few moments away as Jamie McCoy makes his way across the rocks once again.
And if we can keep with this rock section, I think our physical race leader is right behind Jamie McCoy.
Look at the pace.
And there he is, Kyle Cheney coming into the Spider Track backstretch, our physical race leader for his last time through that section.
Yeah,
with a great lead. He's got over a 10-second lead last time around.
Yeah, this is what we call domination, and it does look like, barring calamities, on Calamity Corner, that Kyle Cheney is going to be taking home a Crandon ring. What a fantastic drive here from Kyle Cheney as he makes his way around Calamity Turn.
One more turn to go, and Kyle Cheney grabs the checkered flag for the 4900 Pro Modified class. What a great race for him, and he still has a lot of racing yet to come.
He does indeed. An absolute masterclass there from Kyle Cheney.
And right behind him is Mike Park, then Travis Zollinger. So unofficial one is Robert Parker.
In second is Mike Park.
And that third spot is Travis Zollinger. So Kyle Cheney driving for Robert Parker. He battled Paul Wolf early on, but then took the lead and just walked away with it. But it was 10 seconds on the last lap. It came all the way down to 3 seconds. And then 1 second split between Mike Park and Travis Zollinger. So it was an absolute race to the finish.
Absolutely. Now, you spoke about this right at the beginning, and we're saying that tire and attrition on the rocks was going to be such a massive player. And we saw that with our previous race winner, Paul Wolf, getting a double flat on lap 2.
And that just cost him the race. He had a good one going, but that just shows you those cars. He just raced one race, turned around, didn't even get out of the car, went back to the start line. So he basically raced 15 laps, or was going to race 15 laps, and those tires are tough on these cars.
They are, but they're going to have to get back. He's going to have to lick his wounds, get that car ready for tomorrow's race, because tomorrow it's all about points and all about championships.
So an interesting thing about Paul Wolf, he raced the open class for fun. He's racing Pro Mod for points. Well, he won the open class. He doesn't need the points in open class. He needed the points in Pro Modified class. So did he cost him some points in this race? Absolutely. So tough break for Paul Wolf, but he's got redemption. But remember, this is just a heat race getting everything set up for tomorrow.
I was just about to correct you on that, and I thought I'd let you do it yourself.
Thank you, Jim.
Right now, as we're watching Kyle Cheney, he's going to be making his way up and joining Mrs. Pam Hall on stage and collecting his ring.
And then right behind him is Mike Park.
That's one of my favorite things. When you walk around here, you can actually see the drivers. They actually wear the rings on their fingers.
So in that first place, driving Kyle Cheney for Robert Parker.
In second, it's Mike Park.
In third, Travis Zollinger.
In fourth, it's Todd Beckett.
In fifth, Carson Atkins.
In sixth, Jake Versey.
In seventh, Matthew Walraven.
In eighth is Cole Clark.
In ninth is Jamie McCoy.
And in 10th, it is John Seaman.
In 11th, Cass Lee Croy.
And then in 12th, it is Chris Ambergy.
In 13th is Anderson.
In 14th, Mitch Woodford.
15th, Polari, driven by Eric Vallard.
In 16th is Pollard.
17th, Rimreed.
In 18th is Gibbs.
19th was Zollers.
And in 20th, it was Willis.
So tough break for Paul Wolf. He'll be taking a backpack for tomorrow's race.
Yeah, what a fantastic race we've just seen. I'm just loving this so much. But let's just check out some of the highlights of this race, Miles.
And there is the start of the race with Paul Wolf out front, but look at Kyle Cheney on the outside just pushing strong. It was a great battle between Kyle Cheney, Paul Wolf, and Cashley Croy at this first lap.
Yeah, just look at the pace here. Look at the way Paul Wolf comes past Kyle Cheney.
The first lap.
Exactly.
But there he is. That's what cost him the race right there. He sent her a little too hard and got a double rear flat.
He did, and you called that. We actually heard the tires pop from our soundproof booth up here at Crandon.
And then there's another tire. This race is all about tires and the Brannock Bowlers and the Spider Track backstretch. And don't forget, tomorrow night is the Project X Rage on the Rocks. So more rocks back there, more rhythm sections will be lit up. Be sure to check back in tomorrow night for sure. Lining up right now is the Everyman Challenge. We have the 4600 Spider Track stock class coming from the back. Then it's the 4500 Yukon Gear and Axle modified class and the 4800 Brannock Motorsports Legends class. They are intermixed. So there are going to be 3 races going on at the same time. This is going to be one to watch for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And heading out the pack is Dwayne Garrettson in the 4500 class.
How impressive is that? Right behind him in the 4800 class is number 56 of Brent Harrell.
Yeah, then in third position in a 4500 yet again, it's Jesse Oliver.
In fourth spot is Woody Rose.
Now, Woody Rose. Now, I'm very interested to watch that man. But in fifth place, we've got Jeff Martin, also in a Legends class vehicle.
In sixth place is Brian Trimp.
There's Sean Rasky.
Eighth is Jeremy Jones.
Now, Jeremy Jones, he had a problem yesterday with his engine, so it's going to be interesting to see if he's on the grid this afternoon.
And let's talk about that just for a quick blip. He lost an engine. Well, he called or was in the pits. One of his buddies drove 7 hours to get his spare engine, brought it back. They put it in last night, buttoned it up this morning, and Jeremy Jones is able to run thanks to one of his buddies of Tad Dowker with North Shore Raceworks.
Then in another 4500 class car is Rick Levezzo in 9th position.
And 10th is Justin Hall.
Now, Justin Hall was last year's ring winner, but he had a shocking prologue. Let's see what he can do from 10th spot.
And 11th is Anthony Vinoy making his 4800 debut.
And in 12th position, we've got Justin Barth.
Sean Rance is in that 13th spot. 14th goes to Greg Neff.
And 15th is Eric Weichel.
16th, Ryan Webb.
In 17th is Justin Miron.
18th, Cody St. Clair.
And in 19th is Brian Moore.
And 20th is Ryan Taylor, driven by Corey Day.
And then in 21st, we got Bailey Cole.
And this starts out the 4600 Spider Track stock class. And second is John Rance.
And in third is Lauren Healy.
And fourth, Brexton Glines.
And then in fifth, it's going to be Doug Langford.
And 25th is Sergio Pinillas, fresh off his couple wins in Visions and there in Pennsylvania, our last two races. Sergio's been on a great run. And what a great shot sitting there waiting. But we still have to get some awards here very shortly with Mrs. Pam Hall, waiting for everything to get lined out. But again, thank you everybody for tuning in for the Ultra 4 Optima Batteries Crandon Classic here at the Forest County Potawatomi Friday Night Thunder here at the Big House. The beautiful North Woods of Wisconsin. It's been great tooling around the last week, and it's only going to get better.
Well, let's talk about tomorrow, Mars, because tomorrow we get the big guns come to the party, don't we? We get our 4500s for the Rage on the Rocks.
But it sounds like we're going to be throwing it down to Pam here in just a few moments to give away those trophies. So, Pam Hall, take it away. It's your show.
Yeah.
I'm here with our UTV Pro Mod class with our third position, Mr. Travis Zollinger. What a race out there today, and you're up here third on the box. How are you feeling right now?
You know, I feel really good. Had a little unfortunate incident on my open car, but we regrouped and got in here and ran a good clean race as far as Ultra 4 can go in Crandon. So, yeah, it was good.
Well, there were a lot of flats out there. You obviously didn't have any flat tires, and that took a lot of people out of contingency for the race just now, but you're up here third on the box. Who would you like to thank for getting you here?
Oh, for sure. All the guys back at home, my wife, family, and, of course, Crandon and Ultra 4 USA for letting us be here, and all the fans. Love you.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on that number 3 spot. We're going to move right on over here to our number 2 spot, Mr. Mike Park. Mike Park, you're up here. You had a great race going as well. You fought your way through, and here you are, number 2 on the box.
Yes, ma'am. It's been a long year, and we've put a lot of work in to get here, so we're super excited.
I know you've been waiting to get back up here, and here you are. Who would you like to thank for getting you up here today?
God and my family first most, and then Team 904, our whole team. We put in a lot of work to get here, and Evolution Power Sports and CA Technologies. And Mr. ZRP, he stands behind us, so we got a bunch of guys that stand behind us. We appreciate all of them.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on that number 2 spot up here. Now we're going to move right on over here to our number 1 spot. He has a lot of seat time out here at this track. Kyle Cheney, you're racing for Robert Parker. You're up here number 1 on the box. How are you feeling right now?
Yeah, no, it's great. My Can-Am Team Momentum car did awesome today. You know, I got to thank CT Raceworks for getting that thing built. My Yokohama tires hooked up amazing, even though the track was crazy wet the whole race. You know, I had grip the whole time, race line wheels. I just got to thank the Shuring Speed Sports team for having me here and, you know, my guys and everything, and we're going to be prepped and ready. Hopefully we're up here in Pro Mod and Pro 4. I want to give a shout out to Nathan Parker. I'm pretty sure he won just a little bit ago, so Team Momentum won. So I got to thank those little guys right there, Peanut and Xander. He said that Z word. My girlfriend's name's Zion, so it's tough. Sometimes I forget, but yeah, nope. Just looking to be up here tomorrow, and that's about it.
Well, congratulations being number 1 up here on top of the box with this. Everybody, I mean, you had a lot of talented drivers in that race, and I know Cashley Croy was trying to catch up to you as well, but congratulations being number 1.
No, thank you. Yeah, a lot of talented guys out there, and we were just lucky to get a good jump and had a clean race the whole day.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. Let's give it up for our 1, 2, and 3 in our UTV Pro Mod class. I'm Robert Parker, but it is not him this weekend. We have Mike Park and Travis Zollinger. Congratulations.
Thank you, Pam, and what a wonderful race we had right there. But we're going to reset and have the Everyman Challenge coming right back up. So more racing action yet to come. Stay tuned in after this.
You're on the team, kid. It's orientation day.
Hey, new guy, let's get you up to speed.
Lunchtime.
Your workspace is ready. Looks like you got a corner office.
Be part of something greater. Toyota. Let's go places.
You're watching Speed Sport 1, your home for great American grassroots racing.
It's time to rumble!
Whether you're into sprint cars or stock cars,
At the line!
modified modifieds are midgets.
Down to the low side, retake the lead.
Dirt lane models are demolition derby. Speed Sport 1 has the grassroots action you love.
Oh, you kidding me?
Speed Sport 1, the Motorsports Network.
And welcome back. We are here at the Big House. We are here at Crandon for the Optima Batteries Crandon Classic. And here we go, Mars. It looks like we're going to be seeing the next cars making their way up to the start line. And it is all about the Ultra 4 EMC classes. We've got the 4800s, the 4600s, and the 4500s.
And let's explain exactly what that is. Dwayne Garrettson on that pole position in the 4500 Yukon Gear and Axle Modified class. He can have 2.5 shocks per corner, mechanical steering, and a maximum of a 37-inch DOT tire.
Yeah, then in the 4800 Brannick Motorsports Legends class, they can have front or rear mounted engines with unlimited horsepower. The vehicle must contain SUSIs side by side, a single shock absorber per corner, and a maximum of a 37-inch DOT tyre. Solid axle onlys, and new cars can be built, or you can use retired 4400 cars.
Again, 3 races going on at the same time, and coming from the back of the pack that'll start about 10 seconds behind those two is the 4600 Spider Track stock class. They have to have a stock OEM frame, factory engine, but may be replaced with any available engine, the same make, model, and year. Factory transmission, 35-inch DOT tires, single shock per corner, mechanical steering, factory suspension. And let's go to DOT tire. What's that mean? Department of Transportation. So it's not a race tire, Jim.
No, it's not a race tire. These are tires that you can buy on any street corner, but most street corners. So these are tires that you're going to see in the car park lot out here today at Crandon, and these guys are racing on them.
Yeah, I mean, they're on a lot of the tow rigs and the mall crawlers out there, and they're out here racing. And I think these are DOT tires. I think we're going to see a lot of carnage in the rock piles again, just like we saw in the UTV classes.
Yeah, we should be a little bit different here because they're running a 37-inch tire here, usually on a 17-inch rim. They've got that little bit more compression in the sidewall, so it's not quite so damaging. But because they're a DOT tire, they are softer than the race tires that the UTVs are allowed to use.
And
so
you saw that carnage. So.
Exactly. So it's a yin and yang thing here for sure.
And then it goes, weight. These cars are a lot heavier than a UTV, so I think when they're going to be bouncing through the Brannick Boulders and the Spider Track stock class, I believe we're going to see a lot of carnage with tires.
Yep, I think you might be right. Let's not forget, most of these cars are weighing in at over 2 ton, so that's over 4,000 pounds.
You got some good math there, Jim.
I'll bring it back round to European standards if I can.
But again, thanks for everybody for tuning in. This is Ultra 4 USA Racing at its finest. It's going to be a great showing right here. We have a lot of fast cars, a lot of fast guys and gals out there getting ready to take the green flag. Just a couple more cars to get off course, and we will be live race action for the Forest County Potawatomi Friday Night Thunder for the Ultra 4 Optima Batteries Crandon Classic. And then a couple more races yet to come tonight. We still have the Pro Light versus Super Buggy race, and then the Class 11 night race. That's going to be fun to watch. And then we're going to round out the night with KISS rocking Crandon.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. That is just going to be so much fun. But I'm looking at the front row of the grid here, and I've got to be honest. If I was going to say who's going to get the whole shot going into that first corner, I'm going to go, it's going to be Brent Harrell.
Yeah, you took it. I was going to bet him too. But we got a lot of fast guys. Woody Rose is up there. Brian Trimp, Sean Reisky on the outside. And on that inside, getting that pole position in the 4,500 class is Dwayne Garrettson, the Ricky Bobby of Ultra 4.
But let's talk about Justin Hall, who took home a ring here last year. Now, I can just see him there. He's just sitting in behind Jesse Oliver. Now, is that a bad start position there for Justin?
Jesse Oliver, let's talk about that real quick. He's got a junkyard motor he put together in that car, so he does not have the horsepower. So is Justin Hall going to try to get in around him? I don't know, but Jesse Oliver is going to be pushing hard.
It is indeed, but I was looking to just to the side of Jesse Oliver, and right there is Woody Rose. Now, Woody Rose is definitively going to peel out. So can Justin Hall manage to park away past Jesse Oliver and sneak on through that gap?
It's going to be an exciting one to see for sure. And lots of racing action yet to come this weekend, so be sure to tune in to Speed Sport 1 and AOE.TV. Go to the Ultra 4 USA Facebook, check everything out, and we are getting close to live racing action here at the Big House.
Yeah, it looks like the starter's going to be making his way, finding those flags.
There's Dwayne Gerritsen, then Brent Harrell.
And next to him is Jesse Oliver.
And I can see the Broncos back. There's John Rance and Lauren Healy.
It is, and there is Woody Rose in car 22.
And next to Woody is going to be Jeff Martin.
Then it'll be Brian Temp next to him. Oh, we're going to see it. We see the starter there, just giving the thumbs up. The drivers will now be pulling those visors down. They'll be getting ready to go.
They got the butterflies going. They're getting excited. Turn 1 is getting ready to go down.
There is some serious horsepower here. Now, just check this out. Watch that car, second from the left. That is Brent Harrell. This car is going to absolutely charge off the line.
That Horschel car is very, very impressive. He's got the flags ready. He's up on the concrete, getting ready to get this party started for the Ultra 4 Optima Batteries Crandon Classic.
It shows the yellow. We're seconds away here, Crandon. On your feet. Here we go. Green, green, green. And Brent Harrell charges off the line.
But it looks like Woody Rose wasn't too far back, but it is Brent Harrell with the whole shot. But right next to him is Woody Rose as they hit the barn turn. Brent Harrell on the inside, Woody Rose on the outside. A little bit of contact going into the Spider Track backstretch.
What a fantastic run there from Woody Rose, but it's Brent Harrell right now making his way into the Spider Track's rocks for the first time.
And the spotters are telling him, hey, Woody's right on your tail, so block the center of the Spider Track rock section. And look at this, Sean Reisky comes from out of nowhere on the outside in the Polaris gravel pit. Is he going to be able to get a run? I think he went way too wide there. Not sure what happened there, but he's going to have a good run as they're heading towards the Yukon launch.
Yeah, I'm just looking there at Woody Rose. Has Woody Rose got a flat tire? No, he was just getting it all out of shape as he came around. But Sean Ratsky, he threw it through the rocks there.
So in that first position is Brent Harrell, then Woody Rose, then Sean Reisky, and that's all part of the 4800 Brannick Motorsports Legends class. And speaking about Brannick, here's the Brannick Boulders.
It is indeed. Now, this is really interesting stuff here. I was expecting Brent Harrell to be really charging hard in the rocks. He's playing a very sensible race here. I like this. This is great driving from this young man.
And Sean Reisky coming from that third spot, battling for the lead and making things happen. Look at that, a little inside corner there on Brent Harrell, but Brent Harrell does have a little more horsepower, it looks to me.
Yeah, Sean Ratsky there. Now, where's Sean come from? Because that was an incredible drive.
That was a great run. He was all the way on the outside when turn 1 for the Potawatomi, turn 1.
But right now, it's all about this young man, is Brent Harrell and that Horschel-built vehicle.
Another 7.5 lap race for that Crandon ring tonight. Remember, we have 3 races going on at the same time.
Sean Ratsky in second place as they make their way onto the Spider Track's rocks for the second time. Brent Harrell checks up. Sean Ratsky does not. Can he make the pass?
He's given it all he's got, but he's risking some tires there. Is the car still together? It looks like he's in good shape on the inside.
Now Sean Ratsky's taking a completely different line to the last time he went around that turn as they make their way to the Yukon launch.
It's still Brent Harrell out front, Sean Reisky, then Woody Rose. But in the 4500 class, it is Dwayne Gerritsen, Rick Levezzo, and Justin Hall.
Now this little group of 4800 class cars are starting to pull away from the rest of the cars.
As we're heading into the Brannick Boulder, Sean Reisky steps to the left once again, trying to get around Brent Harrell, but Brent Harrell still hits the throttle. Woody Rose is being extremely patient. There is Anthony Navoy, Jesse Oliver, Rick Levezzo, Eric Weichel, Justin Parth, driven by Anthony Young. Great to see back through the pack. Hopefully we can see some of these stock class Broncos, and there he was, Mr. Bailey Cole, still out front in that Ford Performance Bronco.
Yeah, we need to keep an eye on those, and we'll keep you honest as we come up with the scores. Jesse Oliver doing great. There's Eric Weichel makes his way through with Rick Levezzo. Now, Rick Levezzo has one of the biggest motors out there. Be interesting to see what he does later in this race.
And in that stock class, it's Bailey Cole, and then it is one and only of Lauren Healy. Oh, we just had a car pull off, looking like heading towards the AMSOIL hot pits.
Oh, big nose stand there from
Woody Rose as he makes his way through. Now, I don't see, is that Sean?
Yes,
that
it is.
Sean.
So Woody Rose, I just said he was being patient. Well, he's tired of being patient. He's ready to get it on. So he's trying to put a little nose in on Brent Harrell.
Yeah, I can see there is now a change in fourth position. It's Jeremy Jones, who had to fit a new motor last night. So a great run there from Jeremy Jones up into fourth position.
And then in fifth is Brian Trimp. Then it's Corey Day. And then Ryan Webb, Greg Neff. And then the 4,500 class, it is Dwayne Garrettson, Jesse Oliver, and Rick Lavezzo.
It is indeed, but at the moment it is a top 5 lockout for the 4,800 class. As the racing action continues here at Crandon. Oh, look at this. Brent Harrell, he brakes really hard. Woody Rose nearly gives him a poke as they make their way around and coming back towards turn 1 at the Forest County Potawatomi.
So Brent Harrell out front, being chased heavily by Woody Rose. Brent Harrell in that Horsel chassis, and Woody Rose in that Trent Fab machine. And what do we mean by chassis? There's a lot of chassis manufacturers out there, Jim.
There is a lot of chassis manufacturers, but they're going past one of my favorite 4600 Spider Track stock class cars there.
That is Mick Hansen in the old Toyota that could, and they're passing Sergio Pinillas as we speak. He's fresh off 2 wins as well.
He is indeed. We're just watching this now. It's all about this young man, or 2 young men, should I say. It's Brent Harrell and the custom built.
And Woody Rose is not leaving him out of his sights at all.
Great drive here from these 2 young men, and just look at these cars hooking up as they come out of the Calamity turn and into the Spider Tracks rocks. Oh, look at this lap traffic. Will it have its part to play? Woody Rose trying to go around the outside there. I think that was John Rance, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was Lauren Healy, Brexton Glines, and then John Rance.
Oh,
look at that. So Woody Rose just gets the pass on Brent Harrell, but Brent Harrell's not going to give it to him easy.
Yeah, no, it's often that you say this, but in that moment in time, Vaughn Gittin Jr. became a trail you-know-what.
Look at that, tire to tire, Woody Rose and Brent Harrell. Brent Harrell takes over the lead as they run around Doug Langford in that 4600 Spider Track stock class. What a great run we have up front with Brent Harrell and Woody Rose. They are wheel-to-wheel action trying to make it happen.
Yeah, look at this. Absolutely fantastic stuff from these 2 young men. Porsche chassis versus Trent Fab chassis.
And some lap traffic coming in here. Is this going to make a difference? Oh, is that Brian Tripp? It looks like broke down in the Spider Track backstretch. And look, some of those huge boulders that are getting kicked out. Those are some tire killers if you're not paying attention.
Absolutely. We saw Woody Rose earlier really picking his lines past them, bleeding a bit of time to make sure he saved those tires. And there's Jeremy Jones there in 3rd position, overtaking the 431 of John Rance.
John Rance is a manual 7-speed Bronco. Really cool to see. Jeremy Jones making his quick work around him as we're back to the Brannock Bowlers with physical race leader number 1 and 2 of Brent Harrell and Woody Rose.
Yeah, we're over halfway through this 7.5 lap race now.
Heading back to Argonne Corner, and they'll take a hard left behind the spotter stand.
We have 3 classes racing this afternoon. We have the 4800 Brannock Motorsports, we have the 4500 Yukon Gear and Axle, and the 4600 Spider Tracks class.
We'll have 9 podium spots after this race. Cody Sinclair, Brian Moore, Langford, Healy, Glines, Rance, Harrell. And there's Anthony Vanoy with a left rear flat tire. There are less flats than I anticipate. You were right, Jim.
Doesn't happen often, Miles, but I'll take it where I can. Look at this. Brent Harrell closely followed by Woody Rose making their way into.
And there is the physical race leader of the Spider Track stock class of Bailey Cole. So they're making lap traffic of him. Wow, this is a race to the finish. Woody Rose on the inside. So lap traffic cost Brent Harrell, and up and over. Contact was made. Who's going to hit the Yukon launch harder? It is Woody Rose out first, but Brent Harrell is all over his tail. This is some great racing action.
It is indeed. Now we know that Brent Harrell motor is
very, very strong. As Woody Rose got enough to keep him behind him.
And gets all sideways and a rollover. Woody Rose upside down, and the Brannick Boulders gets sideways, catches the back of that car, and there's our physical race leader in the stock class of Bailey Cole. Jesse Oliver with a right front tire. So now it's Brent Harrell. Slow down, take a deep breath. He's got an 18-second lead over Sean Reisky.
Yeah, he has indeed. That does make you wonder if Sean has got a problem out there when he was pushing hard, but look at this replay, Miles.
He gets in there and gets a little lap traffic of Jesse Oliver and just got in there. Those rocks really upset the car, and he just got a little crossed up, hit him, up and over. That's open wheel racing, and that's what's going to happen.
It is, so now it's Brent Harrell's race to lose.
And you can tell he is really slowing the pace down because Woody Rose was pushing him hard. And is that a right front flat tire possibly for Brent Harrell?
No, I still think he's good.
He's good.
4 wheels on his wagon as he makes his way into the Spider Tracks rocks once again.
He made it around Rick Levezzo in the Spider Tracks backstretch. There's a wheel and tire just sitting there. I'm not sure whose that was.
I think that might be off the back of Jesse Oliver, actually. Until we saw there was no tires in the rack. But let's not forget, a lot of these vehicles will be removing spares.
Oh, and looks like Corey Day with a left front tire and overheating. He had overheating issues yesterday. The radiator cap popped off and he overheated, and it looks like they're having that same issue. I assume he's going to pull off. Yes, he is pulling off the course. Tough break.
Yeah, so you see that we have the yellow flag as they remove and recover. Woody
Rose is back on all 4, but obviously he's a lap down now, so just save the car. Brent Harrell is just running away with this one now.
This is one of my favorite cars out on course. It's so good. But let's not forget, we've got 3 classes out there on track right now.
And Bailey Cole is leading the 4600 Spider Track stock class. Running one heck of a race. Those Broncos are an amazing machine. The stock class did run 6 laps. These are running 7, and we just got 1 lap to go, I believe.
And we're watching now as Brent Howell starts collecting more lap traffic. Oh, it's Eric Weichel there on the outside.
And I was mistaken. I missed the white flag. This is the final lap. So those are our physical race leader heading in the Spider Track backstretch. That is Mr. Brent Harrell getting around Ryan Webb. There's Sergio. There's Brian Trent Part. There is some carnage out on course.
But look at this. What a display of dominance here by this young man. It is Brent Harrell and the Horschel-built car.
These are the Swiss Army knives of off-road. We can race at the big house, at King of the Hammers, through the woods, and to Grandma's house he goes.
Okay, he's making his way around now. He's got only Calamity Turn, and he will collect the checkered flag, and he will get a Crandon ring for his efforts. Brent Harrell crosses the line, and he is our champion here tonight at the Optima Batteries Crandon Classic here at the Big House.
For the Forest County Potawatomi Friday Night Thunder.
What a fantastic race, Miles. Absolutely incredible action.
So remember, we have 3 classes to score. We have the 4500 Yukon Gear and Axle Modified class, the 4800 Brannick Motorsports Legends class, and the 4600 Spider Track Stock class.
Yeah, and let's look at some of these results. We're still waiting for cars to cross the line right now. But I can tell you, in 3rd position in 4800 unofficially is Jeremy Jones. In 2nd position is Sean Radsky.
And at the top of the box goes to Brent Harrell. So we'll get some results from all 3 of these classes as they come to us.
But Jeremy Jones, what a fantastic fairy tale for him. Yesterday, his race was all but over, apart from the wonderful efforts of his team and his friends to get an engine sent for what? Must be nearly 1,000 miles away.
Yeah, it was a lot, but he made it here. He did well. He got on that podium. Great. I mean, that's an Ultra 4 story to tell. He has engine issues, makes it happen, and puts it all together and brings her home. But Brent Harrell right now has got to be stoked in that beautiful Horschel-built machine.
Yeah, it's an absolutely incredible machine, and he will be so happy.
So it looks like first in the 4600 Spider Track stock class goes to Bailey Cole.
Yeah, it looks like the Bailey Cole there.
And then in 2nd goes to Brexton Glines. And 3rd goes to Doug Langford. Remember, all this is unofficial for now. And then the 4500 Yukon Gear and Axle Modified class, it looks like it is Rick Levezzo 1.
In second place, Cody Sinclair.
And then Jesse Oliver. What happened to Dwayne Garrettson?
Well, that's very interesting. I mean, he was running such a hard pace. I mean, where did he come from on lap 2? Absolutely threw it down the line, made his way up into second position before Woody Rose got it back.
And here's our Good Boy Vodka race results. In that first spot is Brent Harrell.
In second place, he's showing us Sean Ratsky.
Third place, Jeremy Jones.
In fourth is Jeff Neff.
In fifth, Justin Myron.
And in sixth position, it is Jeff Martin.
And seventh is Eric Weichel.
Then in first in our 4500s is Rick Levezzo.
In the 4800 in that ninth overall is Justin Barth, driven by Anthony Young.
And this I love indeed in our top 10. And first in 4600, it's Bailey Cole in the Bronco.
You said it, but I'm going to say it one more time. Top 10 in a 4600 Bronco. Bailey Cole, that's amazing. An 11th spot in 4500 class is Cody St. Clair. I said Anthony, that's his dad.
In 12th is Jesse Oliver.
In 13th, Brexton Glines in the stock class.
And in 14th position is Langford.
In 15th is Brian Moore.
In 16th is Lauren Healy.
17th, John Rance.
In 18th, we saw him roll over in the rocks. It's Woody Rose.
19th is Corey Day.
And in 20th, it is
Ryan Webb. Remember, what you're seeing on screen is intermixed. This is the 3 classes all together. So once Pam gets down there and gets it all sorted out, we will give you the official results.
What a fantastic afternoon of Ultra 4 racing here at the Big House, Miles.
And this was such a great first lap between Brent Harrell and Woody Rose, and Sean Reisky came from out of nowhere and gave them boys a run for their money.
Now, Brent Harrell, he laid down the absolute race of his life here today. But Woody Rose, we saw him getting ahead at one point. And look at this as they're passing Bailey Cole.
Inside, outside in the Polaris gravel pit as they're heading towards the Yukon launch. There's Tom Biddle on the outside getting a little contact. They definitely were playing a little bit rough tonight, but they were pushing hard and having fun.
But look at this. This was the pinnacle moment of this race for Woody Rose. Contact there with Cody Sinclair, and over he goes.
Yeah, just catches the back of Jesse Oliver, and up and over. He is done.
And it's what shows that's what happens. That's why we love racing here at the Big House. That's why we love Ultra 4 racing, Miles.
Thanks again for everybody tuning in for Ultra 4 Racing. We will race tomorrow evening at the Project X Rage on the Rocks. But it sounds like we're going to have Pam Hall down there to give away some awards here in just a little bit.
While we're waiting for that, we're going to head out to a short commercial break, and we'll see you very soon.
It's orientation day. Welcome to the team.
Who wants to race?
I like this team. Be part of something greater. Toyota. Let's go places.
Speed Sport has been America's motorsports authority since 1934. Get news, results, and commentary from the most connected experts in the business, covering all forms of motorsports from flat track to NASCAR and everything in between. Bookmark speedsport.com on your mobile device now, or follow Speed Sport on social, and be sure to subscribe to the Speed Sport Daily. Speed Sport is your one-stop shop for all things racing on 2 wheels and 4.
Who's just
Yeah. Is that right? Give him a big hug as well.
Welcome back to the Ultra 4 Optima Batteries Crandon Classic. There's our winners from the classes right there. There's Sean Reisky, Rick Levezzo, Bailey Cole, Brixton Glines, Doug Langford, and Cody St. Clair.
And Jeremy Jones is sitting down in there as well. What a fantastic race this really was, Miles. Absolutely brilliant.
So much racing action happened today, but we are just getting started all day tomorrow and on Sunday. This is going to be a wonderful weekend in the beautiful Northwoods of Wisconsin here at the Big House.
Yeah, it doesn't get any bigger than coming to Crandon, and this is absolutely short course mecca. And I love the fact that Crandon have put in the rocks for these Ultra 4 cars, and the rocks really had their part to play in all of the races we've seen this afternoon.
And I loved how they added the extra rocks, the Spider Track backstretch just below the VIP tower over there, and then out back, you're in for a real treat tomorrow. They've added some whoop sections, played with the rocks a little bit, and made a huge banked turn. It's going to be fun back there.
And on top of that, you've also got the Ultra 4 USA viewing area, and it's going to be awesome to be able to view it from that area. So if you're a spectator, get down across there.
Yeah, and that's just how it played out. But it sounds like Pam Hall is down there with the 4800 Brannick Motorsports Legends class. Pam, take it away.
Miles, thank you so much. Up here with our top three from our 4800 Brannick Motorsports Legends class. Up here with Jeremy Jones. You have had quite a weekend here. You blew blew your engine yesterday. Got one, 7 hours away from here, and here you are, down on horsepower, up here in third position.
Yeah, it's been a pull getting here. There's so many people that helped us do that too. I mean, Tad Dowker of Team North Shore, he stepped up and he said he had a motor and we could drop it in, and man, between him, the Trent Frab crew, with Dave Schneider, Jordan Smith, and then Chad Britton, Team 406 really stepped up. We slapped the thing together and we kind of got out here and made a run at it. So.
Well, you're up here in this number 3 spot. I mean, did you get any sleep last night at all?
Yeah, the motor didn't get here till late, so we started early this morning putting everything together. But yeah, so I got a little bit of sleep last night, which was good.
Awesome. Well, who would you like to thank for getting you up here today?
I would like to thank, let me start from the beginning, Mickey Thompson Tires and the Apco Drivelines, Wyotech, Corkle Oil, Yukon, Gear and Axle, Warren, Trent Fab, Sparco, Warrior Built, Jim at ATO, Jeff Van Horn, Josh at Proper Tuning, Don Balducci, Dave Schneider, of course, all the fans, the media, everybody of Ultra 4 and racing in general. You guys make it all happen. So thank you guys so much for letting us be here and do this.
Well, Jeremy Jones, congratulations on this number 3 spot, and we'll see you race later on in the weekend.
I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome, congratulations. Now we're going to move right on over here to our number 2 spot. Mr. Sean Reisky, how do you feel being up here, number 2 out here at the Big House?
Finally. I've had a rough year. Been running at the top all year long and just crashing out and having bad luck. So getting on the podium today is awesome.
You got to be feeling pretty happy. I know at Rush, Kentucky, that was an unfortunate muddy mess out there, but that's awesome to see you up here. Who would you like to thank for getting you up here today?
Oh, my friends and family and wife and kids and my shop and Brannick and JKS Suspension, Steinegger Off-Road, Mickey Thompson Tires, Dirty Life Wheels, PRP Seats, Gearhead Coffee. I got tons of companies that help me, and it definitely takes a lot to come do this stuff. So,
awesome. Well, congratulations on this number 2 spot.
Thank you very much.
All right, we are now moving over into our number 1 spot. We have Brent Harrell here. I always have to look because you and your dad's name always mess me up. But you're up here number 1 on the box out here. You were battling it out pretty good for your position, and here you are, number 1.
Man, what a race. Battled it out pretty good with Sean Raschke. Woody came by me. Sorry to see him roll. That was pretty sketchy. Hope he's all right. But, man, I'm glad to be up here on number 1.
Well, there's a lot of flat tires that were going on out there. You guys up here obviously did not have any tire issues, but mentioning that about Woody, I mean, you guys went into that rock section with him. You guys were battling it really hard going into there, and it just was unfortunate, but here you are, number 1 on the box.
Yeah, like I said, hope he's doing all right. His car's all good for tomorrow. I hope.
Test. All right, sorry about that. Here we go.
Hopefully he's good to go for tomorrow. Look forward to racing him again.
Awesome. Well, who do you want to thank for getting you up here, number 1 on the spot today?
First off, I'd like to thank God, my dad, my mom, family, all of our supporters out here. Paul Herschel, he built an amazing car. All of Paul's guys, Mitch, Josh, Dawson, Zig, everybody that's come together and helped us, Foster, I'm sure I'm going to forget people, but I'd like to thank Rigid Industries, Fox, Warren, Factor 55, Trail Ready Beadlocks, Tube Works, Nitto Tire, Max Tie Downs, Obstacle, Brett Schmid Trucking, and then my spotter, Justin. He killed it up there tonight.
Well, congratulations being number one up on top of the box. Let's give it up for our 1, 2, and 3, Brent Harrell, Sean Reisky, and Jeremy Jones. Miles and Jim, back to you.
Thank you, Pam, and what a great showing of what Ultra 4 is all about right there. A little bit of everything. I love the rock sections here at Crandon. Obviously, short course at its finest here at the Big House. This is the Super Bowl of short course, but then you throw in the rocks, you can't get much better than that.
It's been absolutely awesome. But let's not forget, this is the warm-up for the rest of the weekend. This is only a small taste of what Ultra 4 can deliver. And I just cannot wait, Miles. Tomorrow is going to be absolutely epic.
Yeah, tomorrow night's the Project X Rage on the Rocks. We're going to kick off at 6:30 p.m. with the youth, and then we'll run every single class last night. So if you liked what you saw this evening, it's only going to get better tomorrow night. So be sure to tune in, Speed Sport 1 and AOE.tv. Go to all of our social medias and check it out. Ultra 4 Racing is here to stay. We love Crandon.
We do indeed. Now, let's just talk about what we're going to be seeing tomorrow, because it's going to be all about the big guns, the 4400s. So let's tell people, what are the 4400 class?
It is unlimited. That's the biggest and the baddest names in our sports. It is unlimited suspension, unlimited horsepower. It's absolutely amazing, but it sounds like Mrs. Pam Hall is down there once again for the 4500 Yukon Gear and Axle Modified class. Pam, what do you got?
Miles, thank you so much. Out here with our 1 and 2 in our 4,500 class, we are here with Cody St. Clair. You're in this number 2 spot. How are you feeling right now?
Feeling pretty good. I've never officially made it to the awards box area, so it's pretty exciting.
Well, you have, just not here at the Big House.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think about this race course out here this weekend?
Adding the second rock section, I think, was a pretty smart move to slow us down and change the course, but it makes it more technical to catch each other.
Yeah, it was an awesome race out there seeing you guys. Who would you like to thank for getting you up here in this number 2 spot today?
Cooper Tires, Raceline, Full Throttle Battery, Dave's Off-Road, Torco Oil, Mama Ange and Rufus for coming out here supporting us, and Dad for spotting for me.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on this number 2 spot. Stay right here. We're going to get some photos here in a minute. But right now, we are going to move right on over to our number 1 spot, Mr. Rick Levezzo. How are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling pretty good. This has been a almost 5-year dream. Been coming here and just missing it, and tonight was the night. It was amazing. You can't ask for a better group of people. You hear the fans and you come around the corner. I mean, this is it. This is the pinnacle right here.
So let's talk about that turn right there. When you're out there on that starting line, is your heart just pumping?
Oh, yeah, it's intense. I mean, there's tires everywhere, and you're going, oh, hold on. And that first jump, boy, watch out. It's fun.
Definitely. Well, congratulations on being on this number 1 spot. Who would you like to thank for getting you up here today?
Oh, I'd like to first thank my wife and my family for putting up with all my BS and following me around the country when I race. My dad, who's like my number 1 sponsor, just crew chief and just here for all the races. James Mahoney, who's my spotter. And then Yokohama Tire for just letting me go and do all the stuff I want to do. King Shocks, Raceline, and Obstacle. Who else is... I'm forgetting somebody, but you know, it's without the sponsors we wouldn't be here.
Well, congratulations on that number 1 spot. Super proud of you guys. That was definitely a tough race course out there, but we're not done with our racing this weekend. Are you ready for the next one?
Yeah, no, I'm ready for tomorrow night. I'm going to have a little work to do. I got something broke in the front end, but we'll get it fixed, and we'll be out tomorrow night.
Awesome. Well, let's give it up one more time for Rick Levezzo, Cody St. Clair, and Jesse Oliver. Miles and Jim, back to you.
Thank you, Pam. Oh, Miles, just how good is this racing? It's so good to see Rick Levezzo up there at the front end. Now, I was saying earlier that it looked like he was slowing down. He was just saying that he thinks he's got something broken in that front end. So maybe a broken shaft or lost some teeth off that differential.
But they bring all the spare parts out here. They bring semis full of parts, and it'll be all hands on deck down there in the Horschel pits, making sure Rick's ready for tomorrow. But yeah, what a great showing here in Crandon. We still have a couple races yet to go tonight, so be sure to check it out.
Yeah, well, while we're waiting for that, we're going to be going back down to Pam, and she has got the 4,600 awards to hand out right now.
Thanks, Jim. Up here with our 4,600 class, I'm with our third place finisher, Mr. Doug Langford. You're got to be feeling really good right now, especially after the rough race we had our last round. So how are you feeling about this short course out here?
Well, I felt really, really good. Battling out there with Lauren, going back and forth in the rocks, and it was a heck of a battle. And then about halfway through lap 3, I lost brakes. So I had no control through the turns, and it didn't take long for Brexton to catch me. But we even had a heck of a battle after that. I gave it all I had, but couldn't get it back. And I'll take this. I'm happy to be here with that kind of problem. I'll take it.
Well, I mean, you have the 392 in your Jeep, so losing brakes, you had a lot of power, no stopping power.
Yeah, that might be when the horsepower is maybe a little too much, when you can't stop it, especially in the turns. It was good on the straights, great in the rocks, but I couldn't control it in the turns. So, yeah, but we got here.
Well, who would you like to thank for getting you up here today?
Well, first, my family back home, my wife and son are watching here from North Carolina tonight. Hope they are. But other than that, just the companies that allow us to come do this. It takes so much to do this. My spotter and co-driver, Rob Craven, trying to keep me calm when I did lose brakes and not letting me get out of control. But companies like Rock Crawler Suspension that built this car with Outlaw Off-Road that lets us field it. Next Venture Motorsports, Tyree Lighting, Nitto Tires, Raceline. I beat the living crap out of that car and I didn't have a flat. I can't believe it. I just assumed I was going to, but I just can't thank those guys enough.
Well, congratulations on being number 3 up here tonight, and then tomorrow night we'll see you again up on the rock, so congratulations.
Absolutely. We'll see if we can't get her fixed up and have something for him tomorrow.
All right, now we're going to move right on over here to our number 2 spot, Brexton Glines. You, I know, are feeling really good as well. You had a great race out there. You're number 2 up here on this box. What do you think about that race course?
The course is awesome. The fans are awesome. We're just so happy to be here. What an experience the big house is.
Is this your first time here?
It's our first time here.
Oh, wow. I did not realize that. Well, congratulations being up here on the big stage here for your first time out at the big house.
Yep, we can't complain. The course is awesome. Our crew is awesome. We got to give a huge shout out to them. We've worked so hard the last couple of months to get this car working better. Looks like we finally got it. Got to thank all our sponsors, marketing partners, Craig Swap and Associates, Nemesis Industries, Mickey Thompson Tires, Yukon Gear and Axle. Without this guy right here, we wouldn't be where we're at. Bailey helps us a ton, super awesome. We're just happy to be here.
Well, congratulations being up here on the number 2 spot. We'll see you later on the week.
Thanks, Pam.
All right, now we're moving right on over to Mr. Bailey Cole, number 1 up here on the box. You've been racing here for a while now. You've been here for a while as well. Great to see you up here on top of the box. How are you feeling right now?
Oh, fantastic. The entire team put in so much effort to get here, and then we made it.
Well, who would you like to thank for getting you up here today? Because I know you have a lot of people out here in the crowd, and like he was saying, Brexton was saying, you help a lot of these racers out, so you got to be feeling good being up here, and a lot of your products are, finishing this race.
Oh, man, it's amazing. First of all, I got to thank the amazing guys that got me here. Chad, Jack, Amy, thank you guys so much. Wayne was up in the spotter tower calling for us. Thank you so much to him and making those Fox shocks work amazing. Yukon Gear and Axle, best drivetrain in the industry. Vision Wheel and Yokohama Tire didn't get a single flat, and man, we earned a couple out there, but they held air.
Well, I mean, Jack and Amy, they came all the way, Australia, I believe, is how far they came?
Yeah, all the way from Australia. I'm importing the talent out here.
Well, that's awesome. Congratulations again on being number 1 on the spot. Let's give it up one more time for our 1, 2, and 3, Bailey Cole, Brexton Glines, and Doug Langford.
Thank you, Pam, and what a great showing it was there for the EMC classes. But, Jim, what a great night it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's been absolutely fantastic, but this is only the start of the racing here for the Ultra 4 classes this weekend. But we're going to be heading out now, and very shortly we're going to go into a commercial break, and then we'll be heading back to Speed Sport Live Desk, sponsored by Toyota, and be joined by Ralph Shaheen.
So we'll be right back right after this with some more yet to come.
First race yesterday.
You're on the team, kid. It's orientation day.
Hey, new guy, let's get you up to speed.
Lunchtime. Your workspace is ready.
Looks like you got a corner office.
Be part of something greater. Toyota. Let's go places.
You're watching Speed Sport 1, your home for great American grassroots racing.
It's time to rumble!
Whether you're into sprint cars or stock cars,
At the line!
modifieds or midgets,
Down to the low side, retake the lead!
dirt lane models or demolition derby, Speed Sport 1 has the grassroots action you love.
Are you kidding me?
Speed Sport 1, the Motorsports Network. Sport live from the 54th Polaris Crandon World Championships, all presented to you by Toyota here on Speed Sport 1. And Toyota, let's go places. In fact, let's go right next to me. I'm Ralph Shaheen. This is Brandon Harrell. He just won here in 4,800. Tell me a little bit about your race out there.
It was a pretty wild race. The field was pretty stacked. I ended up getting the whole shot, and then I know Sean Raschke was on my butt for quite a bit. Car felt really good out there. Woody ended up passing me. I think I got him back, and then he passed me again, and then he rolled out there in the grandstand rock section, so hopefully he's all right. But other than that, it was a really good race. Super pumped to be here, and want to thank everybody at Crandon for coming out.
You know, everything about the category that you're running in is they're going to beat the daylights out of your machine, and they did that here today. Even when you have a great race, doesn't mean you didn't suffer some damage, correct?
I mean, the car felt good. Something might be a little funky in the front end, but nothing we can't fix tonight.
All right, so Crandon, what was the most challenging part of the racetrack this year?
I don't know. I think it's a super fun track. The rocks were definitely pretty brutal once everybody got in there trying to find a clean line through there, but it all worked out in the end.
Okay, well, it is the big house here at Crandon, and Brendan Harrell taking the victory here this afternoon. Time now for another race, so let's go right up to the booth. Here's Cameron Steele and Ken Stout.
Thanks a lot, Ralph. We appreciate that. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we have another race, an exciting race coming your way. Ken Stout, Cameron Steele sitting alongside two former buggy dorks. The last time I can remember seeing a race like this.
I'm a buggy dork for life, buddy. Don't be pushing back like that.
2012, you and I were in a race like this. We were in the buggies. We know what it's like to race against the pro lights, and it's sketchy, man.
Well,
it's scary.
sketchy
500
for sure.
horsepower, 3,600-pound trucks lined up alongside the 2.4-liter powered pro buggies, of course, and they're only weighing in the flyweights, man. They're like 1,900 pounds, 2,000 pounds, so any contact there, and you go for a ride.
I know, and I can tell you for sure I had my front shock tower ripped off when I was vying for the win of one of these back in the days, and the pro light guys, for some reason, have no respect for the buggies, and it really upsets me. I've driven both, and I can tell you, on certain tracks, there's advantages and disadvantages. In this track, it looks like there's going to be advantage and disadvantage in different areas of the track. Now, I heard through the rumor mill, the way they set the times was based on qualifying, and maybe the pro buggies had a little bit of a wet course, so they might be a little quicker.
Well, I'm kind of curious to see how it goes, because things were different back in the day when we did it. There were still four-cylinder engines in the pro lights, so the pro buggies definitely had an advantage, and we would start behind them and have to pick our way around them. So
you called me old. I don't like it. What about, hey, anytime you put two different classes on the line, you just have to expect a little bit of chaos. Now, the pro buggy is going to get a bit of a gap. They're going to be running for their life, so to speak, as you've described. The trucks are heavier. They got a little bit more horsepower, but the times are so close, within a second of who's faster on the racetrack at times. So I'm looking forward to this. This is something that I love, but also as a driver, it makes you a little bit nervous. Now, if you're a pro light driver, you're like, okay, well, I got to get by these buggies. And the thing is, you got to get by as quick as you can. And there's a huge field of them, which means in 6 laps of racing, you don't have a lot of time to do work. So
Right,
sometimes
you got to get after it.
Sometimes you might bring the elbows up for a little bit of rough work, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, they've got to work together, try to be smart, get that lead out there, and then try to hang on. By the way, a quick nod to Tom Schwartzberg. He is 81 years old, has been coming out here for 50-plus years. He and his wife saw both of them last night, still out here racing. He's in one of the pro buggies here. By the way, his wife drove a couple of times. She would actually use his helmet, so a little shenanigans going on back in the day, but it's great to have the Schwartzbergs back out here getting it done. We're looking for the green flag here. Of course, you can see everybody is lined up. Looks like a row and a half of the pro lights. By the way, I'm told that Kyle Greaves is not in this race. Points leader in pro light, looking to save his equipment for the points round tomorrow. Keep in mind they are not ending the championship here this year. Here we go. Pro buggies are out. Oh, contact right off the bat. They're crashing each other.
And one thing you got to know about open wheel race cars, you touch tires, someone's going for a ride, and there's a giant start here for Booth.
Yeah, that first turn, you can see a couple of wet patches in there. We need to talk about a turning brake as well. They've got to know how to work it right or left so that these guys will have to use that cutting brake to try and keep themselves from spinning out. They can actually use it in the auto rotation, if you will, the opposite direction to keep it from spinning out, and then they can use it to help them rotate the car as they normally would as well.
We got the yellow out.
Oh boy.
As the pro lights, they launched the pro lights. Got a buggy on the inside, and yellow flags all around,
So we're hearing a complete restart, ladies and gentlemen. Bonus for the fans. They get to watch it all again. Looks like the 72. Yeah, it looks like the 72 right there, and don't see a.
It's not a great spot to be stopped for a lot of different reasons, right? I mean, you're exposed cab side. As we take a look at Ebert's car, the Intrust number 7, and we are going to go full restart. Now that's not a good spot to be stopped on that front straight, going into turn 1 with the land rush start, cab exposed. They wanted to shut the cars down, and I think it's a great idea to do a restart. Plus, I mean, it never gets boring for the fans on the restart. Let's take a look at some of the contact early, and you can see getting that wheel to wheel. It's not a great idea. At slower speeds, not as big a deal, but man, if you get together and send it, it is terrible.
Yeah, that was Brister that was in the middle of some of that action there as they got it going, and unfortunately, one of them locked down there on the inside, lost power, really sketchy place right there. So we'll take a look at the number 9 truck there. Looks like they are also pulling off for just a second. Antonio Ingles. Well, if they're headed off to the hot pits, well, they'll bring everybody back around here, of course, and we'll stack them back up. So this is going to take a couple of moments.
It takes a couple seconds for sure to get them all back to the lineup, to the grid, get them all grid up properly as well. A full restart means they'll go back with their same pick positions. Now, the question is, would you change your pick spot if you could? I think they're going to make them go back in the exact same pick spot. But look at this racetrack here. Taking a look at that, you see the wet, you see the dry. In the early part of the race, the pro buggies are going to be looking for a little bit more traction. And they're going to try to stay out of that slippery wet where they can and try to put traction down. They want that, really what they want is the medium, right? They don't want the all wet, they don't want the all dry. Unfortunately, one may not be making the restart. Cleaning it out.
Yeah, talk about these vehicles. Obviously, you won a championship in the pro buggies. These things they're light, they're nimble, they're very quick. They're also what some say are the most difficult cars out here to drive.
They're a busy drive. I mean, especially if you're talking about a 4 or 5 speed, you're talking about a turning brake possibly. Some of the cars have changed now with the lock diff. It makes a different kind of setup for the car. It's very interesting. The other thing that's very interesting about the pro buggy is it's so light in the front, right? So for your steering input, you're basically at times you're lifting to get some steering input. If you have the turning brake,
so you can transfer the weight, right?
So you transfer the weight to the front and get it to turn. So a lot of cars nowadays, over the last decade, the cars have gone more cab forward, where they shift the driver a little bit more to the front. So we're putting a little bit more weight over that front of the car. Also distributes it a little bit more because it is a rear engine, rear transmission in these cars.
And of course, the ProLite trucks back there behind them, the Thundering V8s producing upwards of 500 horsepower. They made a rule change a number of years ago. They were formerly 4 cylinders.
Yeah, baby.
Just screaming 4 cylinders,
4
manually
speed,
shifted.
4 cylinders.
Yep.
It was pretty punk rock racing.
And that was a handful as well. Talk about a busy truck. Of course, not near the suspension as well that the big Pro 2s have. So they're a little bit rougher ride out here, and they set them up a little bit stiff as well to get these things to handle. So the Pro Lights are certainly no joke and can carry some good speed around here.
For sure. And for those of you watching online or at home, the weather report is beautiful, balmy evening, more or less in the mid-70s. We have a little bit of wind out there. It's going to dry the track out a little bit quicker. It's blowing at right around 8-ish and 8 knots, and I think that's going to make the track dry up even faster than the cars going around. You can see the dust moving behind the start area.
There's the points leader for Pro Light right there in front of us.
So we are in the Fishbowl announce booth, live above the track here in Crandon, but there are spectators and fans and fellow racers right outside the window.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, we were talking about Kyle Greaves, the reigning champion, the category, Pro Light category, and nice points lead here going into the final couple of rounds here as well for 2023.
At least 4 Pro buggies not making it back to that.
Yeah, I see that, and that's where all that contact was, right there in the middle. 2 or 3 cars getting together there, so possibly damaging something. You talked about the front ends being light. The cars are fairly fragile. They really can't take a big hit, and it doesn't take much of a hit to the front end, say from a right or left rear, to completely redirect the car.
Absolutely. Fragile is an understatement, but also very nimble, as you said. You can see the Class 11, the stock Baja Bugs, getting ready to go racing behind. So it's a beautiful night for racing, a solid night for horsepower, and we are having so much fun getting ready to give you this race. Just the first almost start was
quick
epic.
little tip, Erica Allreed, our pit reporter, is going to be riding, she's co-driving there in one of the Class 11
she
cars.
can't be in the
How
pits
about
then,
that, right?
can she?
Well, she might be, but we hope not.
Well, I'm looking
Hopefully
forward
she's
to
out front.
She's riding along with Josh Felix in Class 11, and that should be great to hear the reports from in-car. You might remember, Ken, I think I did some in-car reporting with you once upon a time while I was in the Pro Buggy.
We've ventured here.
Had some fun.
The Class 11 cars, for the fans, if you have not seen them, it's the 3rd time they've been here to Crandon, and they are extremely exciting. So the stock VWs will come out here, and I mean throw it down. It's the race immediately following this one. This one is 6 laps in distance. Hopefully we can get things off to a good start here, nice and clean.
So Billy Booth had the hole shot, the blue car. We'll see if we can get it again. Pro Buggies are off. You can see him tucked all the way up towards the inside.
Yeah, Billy Booth's had an incredible year as well, chasing that championship, and they've got to take care of these cars too. They are racing for points tomorrow.
Everts with the hole shot.
Nice and wide. Now the track dried out just a little bit, giving them some good grip there through turn number 1. So everybody making it through cleanly in the Pro Buggy category. Meister there in 3rd place. Here comes the Thundering V8s, and they are throwing it down.
Look at that dust cloud on the inside, having to maintain your way through that. Get through one here, Crandon, everybody. Let's get through safe.
Way up high, stays out of the wall, and it looks like Trey Gibbs is going to be the one here with a hole shot. Beautiful job by him.
Gibbs with plenty of experience, solid race car driver. I love when
former Pro Buggy racer.
I know, that's what I'm going to say. Formerly of the Pro Buggy class, super fun to watch race. Watch him pick his lines. He's going to try to drive it with poetry in motion, meaning he wants to hit all the lines. He wants to carve the corners, apexing with as much speed as possible. As we take a look back to the front of the Pro Buggies, it's the number 7.
Everts, that's Everts and Bernlohr already doing a nice job. We talked about Matthew Brisser doing a good job as well. The top 3 there, and they have a nice gap.
Brisser chooses the more wet. Yep, he chooses the more wet. He's going to set up early, tries to get under braking. But I like where those other 2 cars are in the inside. Let's see if Brisser can carve around the outside, get some drive. He's got to run for second. Here we go. He jumps into the wet, though. Watch the tires spin. See him break traction. Car starts to brake on him. He should have stayed in that dry. I think he had the run. I know he didn't want to follow that ruse, but look at Everts doing work.
Everts way out front now, gets a little bit of breathing room. Meister was catching Bernlohr. Bernlohr stretches it back out as he went through turn number 1. You can see Everett's running just outside of that moisture and now back inside, using that right rear, putting that one right in the grip. And we go back and take a look at Gibbs here. Gibbs, the first Pro Light already catching the back of the field here with the Pro Buggies. Needs to be careful right here. Right on the back bumper of both of them. Looks to the inside. I'm sure that they talked in the driver's meeting. I'm sure they had words with the Pro Light guys saying, do not hit.
Well, of course, with Gibbs, he knows, look, going to the inside. He's got that locker, and he's trying to use that horsepower, trying to get a little grunt out of the corner. More contact.
Trey Gibbs having a great season here as well, man. Comes in here second to the points. They are fanned out 3 wide here. The Pro Light's trying to get through Calamity Corner.
Look at that outside line. The 14 carving around the outside.
Crazy stuff, man. For show, man, all over the back of the Pro Buggy.
That's Brody Eggleston in the 14 on that Pro Light. Look at the 7, Dale Everts.
All 3 of them really closed up here at the front as well. Everett's just got to put together those qualifying laps, if you will.
Keep him clean. He's got enough room to run the race course
he wants to run. Gap. He's got a big gap still before you see Gibbs. And a few sparks coming out as the sun starts to set. It gets dark around here. You see those brakes go to work.
And you see he carved down, went to that dry dirt. It cost him a little bit in momentum, but feels like maybe he hooked up more. He's trying to stay out of. Oh, Everett with the big land there, and he's going to lose position. Go into the gravel pit. Here we go. Lead change.
Bernalor coming after him.
Slide job underneath. I think Everett's just had a big hit on the jump. He landed there coming out of coming around and just landed side loaded so hard. That will ring your bell. Also can damage the car, could knock it out of gear, could cause you problems. We'll see if he has a run to get back.
Yeah, lucky he didn't rip a tire off in the process. Yeah, that side slap will really smack your head, especially if you have a full containment seat. The top 3 in Pro Buggy with a nice gap here.
Brister on the run, trying to get Everts as well. Look at Gibbs trying to carve that corner. Keep that mo. Keep the mo. Keep the momentum. That's what we do. We try to keep that momentum moving forward. And I know it sounds simple, but race car drivers can do crazy things like try to chop to the bottom. And already Brister has moved to second. I'm sorry, that's still Everts. Brister still running third.
Matt Wood also the next pro Light. So Wood having a couple of podium finishes so far this year, trying to pick his way through. You can see just back there by 1 position from Gibbs.
Carving it. So last time around, he went to the inside, chopped his momentum. This time, around the outside, throw in the roost, carry the momentum, give it to him, baby. You got to get to the front, and you got to carry that speed to do it.
Bernalor, 4th in the points, by the way, this season. Does have a win, actually a couple of wins, 3 podiums on the season. So he knows how to get it done out here against this very, very stacked field. Larry Jobe out here still getting it done, by the way.
Yeah, Larry.
Talked to him a little bit earlier today. It's great to see him in here as we watch Trey Gibbs.
Look at Gibbs getting some heat in those brakes, rotating down at the bottom. We do have a safety vehicle on the racetrack, so we're going to get some caution flagging here. They have to race to the inside at the finish line turn. See Gibbs coming in nice and mellow, being respectful, staying away from the course workers. Well done. The number 5 looking good. Does he have what it takes to run up on these guys right now? He still has quite a few cars to get by, and we're basically halfway through the race.
That's exactly right. 3 laps to go here, so he's got to do some work here pretty quickly. And Bernalor's putting some laps together.
Bernalor in the 27 has been really just hitting the marks, hitting the marks, hitting the marks. See, get out of the wet, get to the outside, run the momentum. He's running the lines. He's really got a great pace, and he's gapping right now. He's been putting Everts and Brister under the gap. And look at this, carve it up. That number 5 of Gibbs looking super solid, but he's got 6 cars to get by if he wants to win this shootout. So,
by the way, that 31 directly in front of him is Steinhardt, so he's a points leader coming into the finals, the final couple of rounds here for the 2023 season. 31X, my bad. So that was Jaden.
I love it. Does the Pro Light have it in the tank to catch those fast Pro Buggies? Can it be done? You see those 3 cars just inside your shot there. Those are your front runners. the number 10, Jaden Lemke, is about to get done right here. Watch the pro lights, going to go to the outside, try to carve the momentum. Oh, he cannot. Now we have the course workers out on the course, really slowing him down.
Lemke hold his line right there, and that's what you got to do. Just drive your line, make him go around you.
See him? The one thing I like there about Gibbs, he held it down. You see him rotating in the air. I felt like Lemke kind of nursed it a little bit, didn't turn in the air. Look at that rotation, throw it around. Lemke's driving around a little bit more. Gibbs is by, moving forward. That's going to put Gibbs in, I believe, 5th overall.
Yeah, quickly running out of time here.
Yeah, but still 2 laps. Let's see what happens. He's got his lines under cover, getting it. Oh, right there. Scrubbed a ton of speed. He broke traction, went to the bottom. I don't know if he meant to do that, but the car broke loose. He ends up on the bottom, but he has a good run here going through that first turn.
So looking at the lap times, Trey Gibbs a little bit quicker here with a 128.2 to the 129.7 for Bernlohr. So about a second and a half quicker there. He's got a little ways to go, though, to catch him. Track wide open, run your line, just keep putting them together.
It's going to get rougher in those primary lines, so you got to watch out, throwing it in. You see Gibbs throwing it down. He likes that little bit of apron, not where it's already been run a ton and it's hard pack. He wants just that edge. Look at this battle. 3 buggies, and here comes Gibbs. Can he get all 3 of them? This is 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. This is Booth. This is Brister, and Everts is going backwards quick, but the white flag is out.
White flag is out for sure, and a roadblock right in front of Gibbs. He's got to try to pick his way through
he's
this
got
pack.
him. I thought he was going to dive in on him right there and get it. Watch this rotation. Here it comes. Hello, rotation. Going to go to the inside? No. He holds it down on the outside.
Everts holding it down on the inside as well, knowing he's there. Obviously, the spotter's talking to him out and around the outside. You can see the sheer raw power out of that pro light, able to drive around the outside of Everts. I think Everts might be hung up just a little bit or hurt just a little bit.
I think a really good move right there by Gibbs, not trying to dive to the inside and chop the pass. I think carrying the momentum was there, good there. Now he's going to have a big run down the front, and we'll see. Should be able to get around the outside of 1. Yes, gets Booth. Now he's looking for Brister right on the outside.
And Bernlohr still out front.
Oh,
a huge moment right there. That's what we were all afraid of. And hopefully Brister is okay. Not sure if there was any contact there or not. Really difficult to tell from that particular angle. As Gibbs continues on here, Bernlohr should be really close to the stripe by now. He had a near 13-second gap. And Bernlohr crossing the stripe. Bernlohr underneath the checkered flag there will grab the win here tonight. Trey Gibbs, 2nd overall across, but 1st across for the pro lights.
So there is a winner in each class, a winner overall, but right now we're just hoping that everything is good with Brister.
Yeah, really, really scary ride there from Matthew Brister. So we want to make sure we get safety out there to him, make sure he's okay. Window net is down. That is always the indicator that the driver is okay, basically telling safety, I'm okay. I put the window net down, cognizant, and you can see him moving around there and waving. But man,
that is great news.
This was the concern, right? Knowing that they have a points race tomorrow, and that car has a ton of damage to it.
That was a big one. You know, as a commentator, you love watching the racing, and the crashing can be exciting. You don't like the crashing, and you really don't like it when you see a big, you really don't see, you don't like to see big crashes like that. So the safety crew is with Brister, and you see him talking to the number 55. Brister's going to flip over the hood. He is out.
Nice round of applause,
awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen.
That was
and
a big
in good
one.
spirits, man. That's that's a scary ride.
That is why you wear your safety gear. You don't dress for the win, you dress for the crash.
Yeah, great to have safety right down there immediately as well. As you take a look at that car, of course, he's a little bit deeper in the points, comes in here 7th in the points. They'll have a lot of work to do. They have a lot of talented people on that team. We'll see if they can get that thing back together and make it out here for the points round tomorrow.
The question I have, Ken, now that he's okay, you want to know what my question is? I bet you can guess. was there contact.
Right. And we just couldn't tell.
To me, it didn't look like they were close enough to be contact, to be honest. It looked like maybe it all just happened on that jump. Probably a bit of a rut there.
Well, the only thing that would lead me to believe that there was contact is if he just went off the jump straight, that would have never happened. So
there has a tendency to be a little bit of a developing bump, like as you're turning slightly into that jump. We've seen it rear its head in the past, so we'll see if we get a chance to take a look at the replays shortly here. Everybody just making sure Brister is okay. The course is now looking cold, and good news, Brister's smiling, at least mostly. You never are smiling when your race car is all smashed up.
So we're going to take a quick break here, and we'll get things sorted out when we come back. Hopefully we'll know a little bit more, and we'll share it with you. Stay with us here at Crandon.
It's orientation day. Welcome to the team.
Who wants to race? I like this team. Be part of something greater. Toyota. Let's go places.
You're watching Speed Sport 1, your home for great off-road racing from America and around the globe. Woo-hoo-hoo! From Ultra 4 to rallies.
These guys are fighting for the lead.
It seems very aggressive. Short course to desert race. Great move there. He is so fast. Whether on 2 wheels or 4, Speed Sport 1 has the off-road action you crave. Look at that move. It jumps to the inside. Speed Sport 1, the Motorsports Network.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the 54th running of the Polaris Crandon World Championships and, of course, the 8th running of the Red Bull Crandon World Cup. There's a look at Matthew Brister's car there. They're picking that one up and carrying it back to the pits. That is Matthew standing right alongside the car. He is A-OK, but he went for a big ride here in this cup race between the Pro Buggies and the Pro Lights.
Big is an understatement. Airborne, flipping side over side, tagging a couple corners. Never fun to crash, ever. And you can see that we got the podium up there, and it looks like, yeah, exciting night of racing. I'm really sad to see the damage there to Brister's car. It looks like he's got at least 3 corners worth of damage, and one that looks extreme, and there you have it. Ripped off the A-arm there.
You touched on it real quickly, the safety devices, the safety that they've got to go through tech before they can go out and race these cars. You've got to make sure that they pass everything, obviously the safety gear that they're wearing inside, and this is exactly why. It's amazing to see how far this sport has come to go through a ride like that, have the driver climb out A-OK.
Well, you can see right there above his illustration, that A-pillar going straight up. I mean, that holds that front of that cab up in a straight down impact. And that's what those bars are there for. You see the B-pillar behind them as well. Vertical bars, horizontal bars working together. Engineered race vehicles. Never good to see your race car on the pettibone. Or any tractor for that matter.
Monkey Racing's been doing it for a long time. Extremely successful. Very, very fast out here in the Pro Buggy ranks. Ran on the West Coast there for a number of years. Had some success out there as well.
All right.
And, of course, as we talked about, Trey Gibbs having a great run out there with the Pro Light, picked his way forward, ended up second overall.
That's a pretty good finish.
Yeah, I mean, he was closing the gap pretty quickly with...
Everett had some kind of problem from that landing, or maybe it reared its head before that landing, but he definitely was struggling with that race car. He went from bad fast to just slightly bad, but still able to put it together for a top 4. And Billy Booth I just got a text message. You wouldn't believe it, but that was the last race car I ever raced in short course.
How about that?
The race car that Billy's racing.
Yeah, Billy having a great season, by the way, coming in here second of the points.
I had a hard
time.
I had a hard time driving that car. He's driving it great. It's obvious it's all about the driver.
Maybe he's just better than you. Is that what you're trying to say?
That's fine. I'm okay.
Going to get in there and throw it down?
Hey,
put a helmet on?
I was picking on myself. You don't need to pile on, all right?
Trying to help you go down the road, that's all.
Oh, man, I miss announcing with you, Ken.
By the way, congrats to Jordan Bernlohr. We haven't talked about him at all, but, man, he put together some great stuff. Are we going to the podium?
Let's see this. Let's see this replay.
Oh, we got a replay. Here we go.
Here it is. And it looks like, oh, baby, was there contact? Whoo-wee!
Pretty clear right there.
There was a ton of contact.
Looks like Gibbs went over that jump there, and the truck got sideways just a little bit, drifted back over. I don't think he had any intentions of doing that, but clearly that's how it ended up.
I honestly felt like they both drifted back into each other. One went wide one way, one went wide the other way, and they kind of pointed themselves back into the middle. And guess what? Two cars can't fit in the middle. And really, I think you're right. Look at Gibbs come.
It loaded up the left side right there, and it launched the truck off.
Yep.
And he landed on the right side.
Oh, baby, you're right. Gibbs
and then he's
off.
Trying his best to keep it in
on
his
the binders.
Lane, on the binders hard.
Good night.
And it just does not take much. That's what we were talking about. It just doesn't take much.
I'm going to rescind my statement. Brister was not coming over into him.
He was actually just starting the turn. He was
and these two guys raced against each other in pro buggy.
And that all started with that first jump because he had to correct the truck a little bit. So it loaded up the left rear. When he went off the jump, it sprung the left rear up and landed hard on the right. Then he had to catch the truck. So, man, that's a true racing deal. But when you put a pro light and a pro buggy together, that's what you're looking at.
Pro light's going to win every time.
Every time.
When it comes to contact. The tough one for Brister. Good news is still smiling. Got out of the car, looked good, and to me, I think a classy act of a race car driver not to be hot-headed. If you get hit like that, a lot of times you just you're running on podium position, you're running towards the front, you get taken out more or less, kind of, and man, that can make you hot. But he got out of the car and he was pretty level-headed.
Yeah, and
that truck was only sitting like 30 feet away from him on the podium,
right? I agree with you 100%.
I thought I was looking over there.
I also want to throw Trey Gibbs some love because we watched him run that entire race, and he could not be any more respectful to all the cars around him. So clearly did not have any intentions of that happening and was doing everything he could do to keep it from happening. It's just the way it went this time. We're just really glad Brister's okay.
Absolutely. I mean, being okay is the number one thing in racing, and right now we're just watching the sunset. It's a beautiful afternoon, unless, of course, you're Brister and that's your car.
And that crew.
Yeah.
They're going to see sunrise is what they're going to see. Yeah, they'll
if
be on
they
that
get
one all
together,
night long.
man.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got to have arms for three corners of that car, which, luckily there's a lot of friends in the pits. The community of short course off-road racing is stellar. Everybody works together to get everybody back on the track. There's a lot of solid community here, especially at Crandon. What a wonderful place to go racing. And if we didn't mention it, the Bugs are coming up next.
Yeah, Class 11 still sitting back there. They're on the line. They're coming up next. Of course, we will end the night up with KISS here at Crandon, the big house, right? You brought the entire family, didn't you?
I brought the entire family to see the big house and to see KISS. The KISS was my first concert I wanted to go to when I was a kid.
Your dad took you, right?
No, they had the neighbors take me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. My dad was
Your
like,
dad
I'm
was
over
pretty
that.
smart. Like, I'm not going.
I took my kid to Taylor Swift. I mean, I'm all in for it, But, yes, KISS was one of my first concerts, and I wanted to share that with my kids. So my 3-year-old will probably be one of the only kids in her generation to say, I saw KISS.
Big Daddy was pretty sharp, man. He just send you off with the neighbors. I like that.
Yeah, Big Daddy was definitely on the move. A player, knew what to do. Neighbors wanted to take me? Okay. Dang, that is a long, unfortunate ride right there for Brister's car. Look at that. The lights are on in Crandon. The big house is lit up, and Class 11 will be coming up. But before that, we're going to have a podium interview, maybe. How can we have a podium interview if our podium reporter is in a Class 11 car? Do that math for me, Ken.
It's a really good question. I think Pam's down there. So Pam will help us out, a very accomplished pit reporter. She's doing a great job there with the Ultra 4, of course, all day long.
She's my favorite commentator on the crew. Definitely you are not. Just saying.
I can't even argue with that.
There's a possibility.
He's not afraid to take a swipe. It's kind of like how you used to start races, you know? I mean, everybody would wait for the green flag except for you.
That's
and
right.
You
That's
had your
right.
own green flag.
And what? I finally got black flag for it. What did I do
How
on the
many
next
warnings
start?
did you get?
What did I do on the next restart? Jumped it.
Speaking of the Class 11 cars, talk about a fun class. This thing is so cool. These cars, believe it or not, those cars compete in the Baja 1000. And they are very competitive. They're a lot of fun to drive.
Says you. They are great. Here's something I want to point out real quick for those of you at home. They are stock Volkswagen sedans. They do have roll cages inside of them. The same type of roll cage, the same window nets, the same safety seats, the same safety harnesses that you just saw, or very similar to what Brister had in his car. So now they're icing them because we're waiting for the podium interviews, and then we will get to the Class 11 race.
That one back there's puffing pretty good already.
Hey, you know they say they run best right before they blow up.
Just before they blow up. Yes, that's exactly what I've heard. You can see the top three over there.
Being a race team owner, I'm sure you've experienced that a couple times.
Unfortunately.
Yes.
I'm not sure I really believe it.
Well, I believe that they blow up.
Yes.
My story is we were leading before it blew up, always. Did you miss me, Ken? We haven't commentated together since last year.
It has been a little while. And you weren't up here too much. You were running back and forth. You got an exercise.
I brought my jogging shoes this time again because I thought I was going to have to do that again. But then they brought this Ralph Shaheen guy out here to do some of that stage stuff.
How about that?
I heard of him before.
He's been pretty busy.
A lot of fun here at Crandon, even in the commentator's booth. For those of you watching at home, you know, the racing is spectacular. The crashing sucks. This is a moment where Ken and I are waxing poetic, having fun, watching the race cars sit and the AMSOIL flags blow. And so what we're going to do right now is we're getting ready for the podium. We're going to step away for just a moment because we know you're tired of us. More action when we return.
Who wants to race? I like this team. Be part of something greater. Toyota. Let's go places.
You're watching Speed Sport 1, your home for great off-road racing from America and around the globe. Woo-hoo-hoo! From Ultra 4 to rally.
These guys are fighting for the lead.
It seems very aggressive. Short course to desert race.
Great move there. He is so fast.
Whether on 2 wheels or 4, Speed Sport 1 has the off-road action you crave.
Look at that move. Jumps to the inside.
Speed Sport 1, the Motorsports Network.
I watched my first race yesterday.
You're on the team, kid. It's orientation day.
Hey, new guy, let's get you up to speed.
Lunchtime.
workspace is ready. Looks like you got a corner office.
Be part of something greater. Toyota. Let's go places.
You're watching Speed Sport 1, your home for great American grassroots racing.
It's time to rumble!
Whether you're into sprint cars or stock cars,
At the line!
modifieds or midgets,
Down to the low side, retakes the lead!
dirt lane models or demolition derby,
Oh!
Speed Sport 1 has the grassroots action you love.
Are you kidding me?
Speed Sport 1, the Motorsports Network.
It's orientation day. Welcome to the team.
Who wants to race? I like this team. Be part of something greater. Toyota. Let's go places.
Speed Sport has been America's motorsports authority since 1934. Get news, results, and commentary from the most connected experts in the business, covering all forms of motorsports from flat track to NASCAR and everything in between. Bookmark speedsport.com on your mobile device now, or follow Speed Sport on social, and be sure to subscribe to the Speed Sport Daily. Speed Sport is your one-stop shop for all things racing on 2 wheels and 4.
And once again, welcome back to the Polaris Crandon World Championships. Once again, we're going to get it back down here to Pam Hall, and Pam has our podium finishers. Pam?
Thanks, guys. I'm here with our third place, Mr. Billy Booth. You guys had an amazing race out there. You had a full restart for everybody. Give us just a real quick answer of how are you feeling right now for being up here on this box?
It's really exciting. I had a ton of fun. Unfortunately, we had that restart. I got the whole shot that first time, and I thought we could have run away with it, but it's got a bad start that second time. So I grew up watching these races when I was younger out west, and man, they looked like a ton of fun, and that was a ton of fun. Glad to see Matt climb out all right. Hopefully he can get it back together and be a good weekend. So just big thanks to all my sponsors, my Motorways Tear Offs, the Turn Machine Tool. Everybody's here helping us out. My parents, my mom, my girlfriend, everybody that we got a little work to do tonight, but we got a big weekend ahead. Chasing the points. A lot of people thought I was crazy for running this, but big thanks to Marty and Crandon for putting this on, and looking forward to a great weekend here at Crandon.
Well, congratulations on this number 3 spot. We're now going to move right on over here to our number 2 spot, Mr. Trey Gibbs. You have quite a fan club out here. I can hear kind of a crazy ending to the race. So quick feelings on this.
Yeah, I know. Absolutely pumped to be back up here. They haven't done a pro buggy, pro light race in a long time. So absolutely stoked to be up on the podium. It was a crazy race. These trucks and pro buggies are nothing alike, and when they touch, it all goes south. And I'm glad to see my buddy Brister is all right. No intention of doing that. It really sucks. But like I said, I'm glad to see he's all right, and just pumped to be up here. Wouldn't be able to do this without all my guys. Maxxis Tires, Bill Stein Shocks, Steal It, VP Race Fuels, Impact, my dad, and like I said, without my guys, it wouldn't be possible. So thank you.
Well, congratulations on this number 2 spot. We're going to move right on over here into our number 1 spot. Jordan Burnlow, you're feeling really pumped right now, giving that fist pump. So give us your true feeling of how you feel right now.
Oh, the true feeling is this is a dream. This is my second year in pro buggy or off-road racing, and this is all we care about. This is all you work for. My dad does not stop talking about all we want to do is win Crandon, and we won Crandon.
Well, congratulations. You have a lot of supporters behind you, and here you are, #1 on the spot.
Yeah, most importantly, I want to thank my family, our friends, everyone who helps us get here. I mean, dude, Billy, he's helped me all the time, but I want to thank our sponsors, Procar Indoors, Quality Contour, J-Spec Race Prep, Drink Hydropower, and everybody who helps us.
Awesome. Well, let's give it up one more time. You guys get your photo ups out of the way. Jordan Burnlow, Billy Booth, Trey Gibbs. Cameron and Kim.
And congratulations to the top 3 there. Yeah, big race there right there. Congrats, Jordan. Awesome job, man. Certainly glad to see that dream come true for his father as well. Nothing better, right? And to watch your son go out here and win a big race at Crandon.
Absolutely. I mean, anytime a father gets to watch his son win is a pretty memorable experience. I mean, I was able to do that with my dad a number of times, and so cool. I remember being a kid watching my dad win, but I'm stoked to see the Pro Buggy on top. That's all. I just want to say that.
Hung on for another one. I think they're undefeated. Every time they've had one of these races, right? It's been a Pro Buggy up on top. So that's the way that one goes. It is done and out of the way there. We're really glad that Matt Brister, of course, is okay. Time now to shift the focus to the Class 11 cars. Lights are on. A little smoke out of the back of them. The love bugs are ready to make some noise.
Still need to clear those podium cars as they get cleared there, so it's going to be a couple minutes. Let's talk a little bit about Baja Bugs, because as you talked about, the history of racing, Baja Bugs goes way back to the 60s and 70s, and these are some of the early race cars of the Baja 1000. So we're stoked to see such a great number of cars here at Crandon to come and represent. There's been a huge resurgence in Class 11 over the last few years, and we've seen them at King of the Hammers, seen them at the Mint 400, seen them at a number of different races. It's just it's fun to watch, but it's also serious racing. Some of these teams have traveled from the West Coast, of course. There's some ringers, so to speak, in the field that we'll talk a little bit about. Cisco Bio for sure being one of them. As you look at the setup, they do have the stock bumpers on the front. They have to retain the stock fenders. Now, I will say that every once in a while, those fenders do blow off those cars, Ken.
Yeah, you know what's really cool about it is this is a car that you can build with a buddy of yours and go out and have some fun. Probably 15, 20 grand all in, go out and go racing. Probably the challenge is maybe trying to find some of the parts, but they are bone stock vehicles. You talked about some of the safety that's inside of them aside from that, but they call it the working man's class, and it's one of the oldest and purest of the original classes. Super cool stuff.
Absolutely. You said hard to find a 13 millimeter end wrench when you're working on Class 11 cars all the time, because you always seem to be using them and you always seem to be losing them. We had Baja Bugs as kids, and we'd prep our race cars in our garage, and my dad was forever looking for that 13 millimeter wrench. We just couldn't seem to put them back in the toolbox. It's I'm reliving all those moments with things not being put back by my kids.
It always, well, a lot of times you leave them in the car sometimes, you know, and you lose them out on the course. But I always look at the negative camber in the rear end of those cars, and it just scares me to death.
Well, when they start, it is a swing axle, which means that as the suspension comes up, it rotates in. So when they're laying it down in the turn, what they're looking for is the flattest that they can have that tire, or more straight up and down, so they're making traction and cornering the best. And I can see someone out there being silly with their cooler on top of their race car.
That's Bob.
The Bob. Bob's your friend.
And I said negative camber. I think it's actually positive
camber.
Yeah,
right?
That's exactly right.
You know, but
just not used to saying positive camber.
Camber and caster are something for the engineers, not the race commentators. Just saying. Well, in this case.
Fired up. They're looking for a green flag.
And we have collective breath holding as we get ready for the Land Rush start.
A massive field of Class 11 cars.
Our pit reporter, Erica, on the back row, we're told, if you see the car there, it looks like a blue hood and orange front bumper. We believe that is the car that she will be reporting from. Josh Felix is her driver.
Let's see if she gives us a report. Her first time through turn one.
I'd love it. You can see it looks like the 1184, the Baugh Design sticker there in the front, the BD. Green, blue, a little bit of orange.
By the way, if you look at all the cars, you'll see that it is mandatory that they all have a co-driver, so this isn't something special here just for their car.
So the co-driver, when you're in desert races, you're watching the GPS, you're using the radio, you're giving navigation tips of what's coming from the GPS, you're managing the race car. In short course, you know, you're just kind of sitting there. I mean,
gritting your teeth. That's it. Green flag flies. They dump the clutch. Here we go. Class 11.
Wow. That's a lot of bugs coming around that corner. If I'm not mistaken, the pink bug is Cisco Bio. His family from Baja, California. He is one of the most famous race car drivers that we have in the field. And he is definitely a huge talent. Lots of wins for their family in all types of Volkswagen-based racing. This is a 1600cc Volkswagen.
And look at him carrying the big speed in there. And look at the line that he's running. Why? He wants to keep that momentum up. Can't get out on the fluff, but the last thing you want to do is pull it down.
Ooh.
Oh, problems right off the bat. One of them pulling off to the outside. But 2, 3, 4 wide. You had a great start right here.
It's a battling going on right here. There's no runaway happening, that's for sure.
I've got to say, generally speaking, throughout the entire field, the class looks awesome. The cars look way better than they did a year ago.
And
you're right, Cisco Bio there.
And it's Blake Wilkie in second, who you've seen a lot of content from recently.
Yeah, a lot of social media following. Yeah, for sure.
Always smiling, always having a fun time. We'll see if he's got anything for Cisco, but you know, Cisco is a huge talent in this 1600cc racing.
It will be fun to watch. Blake Wilkie, by the way, the 2021 Moore Series champion, the 2022 Mint 400 winner, so he can get it done out here, but he's got a little real estate to close up on. So Erica and Josh, we are hearing, oh, parts and pieces. That was one of those fenders, I think.
A metal fender thrown out. Oh, contact on the front straight.
Big violent roll.
Big crash there.
Not unlike what we saw a year ago, by the way. And again, we just want to make sure the driver and co-driver are okay. We were just talking about Josh and Erica started off in the third row, made their way up to 7th already, so had a great start there, but
it's going to be tough to race with. Is this Erica's car? It was blue with orange. That kind of looks like it.
No, it's
not them. The wrong color bumper there. But that's a tough one. You're racing by looking down underneath through the bottom of that hood being flipped up.
That small little opening there.
Plus your aerodynamics are out the window now. I think the aero definitely matters at all times. Look at that. Hit the brakes, got the hood to come back down. Maybe get the latch again. If it's got that conventional latch, the little pin button on the front of the Volkswagen, for those of you that drove one when you were younger, like me.
That thing is like a massive parachute. The fact that they can drive it and continue on at speed is pretty amazing. But Cisco about to get some company here.
Yeah, Blake, I like the way Blake ran that line a little straighter. Cisco actually made what looked like an unnecessary turn out just slightly and let Blake make a run. Here comes Blake down the bottom, trying to make a move. We'll see as they head down into the gravel pit. Ooh, that was a big landing for a Class 11 car there from Blake.
Yeah, Cisco got a little bit sideways there coming out
of the gravel pit. Under braking, he's going to take him in. Two wheels in.
He gets in the binders and stays out of the side of him. Nice job there.
Good job at collecting it back in and not running into Cisco. So that's Cisco Bio in front in the pink car, chasing him in the multicolor purple, light blue. Fun is Blake Wilkie. Blake with another run coming up.
Wilkie's got some speed, no question. He closed up what was probably the better part of 7 or 8 car lengths. Has made a couple of attempts here, racing him really clean. That gravel pit has put more than people like him up on the bike before.
Out into the back of the track, they're racing an abbreviated track, so they cut back and through.
And Blake clearly driving it into the turns way more aggressively than Cisco.
And look at that. Blake had made some runs. Now watch right here. Blake has a straight line. Watch the straight line from here. Cuts back across. Straight lines this. You see Cisco turning just a little bit. Blake trying to straighten it out and keep the pedal down, but Cisco has a far better run this time around.
Yeah, through the barn turn there, and yeah, he does a much better job there. Last time he got a little bit loose right there, and I think that's what cost him some speed as they charged hard down into the gravel pit.
Cisco throws it in, decides not to throw it in that hard in that Fox-sponsored all-pink Class 11.
Donnie Donovan, by the way, Michael Steele, Ryan Rodriguez, your top 5.
And they're making a run at it. It looks like that I really thought that first and second were starting to gap, but here comes more of the class coming back up on them.
So no doubt the spotter's talking to him as well, and I'm sure telling Wilkie, you got to get after it. You're going to have company here. Danny Donovan there.
Oh, look at this.
Did not have the best set of turns there through Calamity Corner.
Wilkie having a hard time getting by, I believe, a lapped vehicle. Still with great runs. You see him having to get heavy braking. He goes down to the bottom, trying to show the front end, possibly to Cisco, but has to get under heavy braking to control it. Blake has some great runs. I think if he can just clean it up just a little bit, he might have something for Cisco. Here he goes again, trying to look for that straight line through this section. Cisco straightens it out a little bit too. Cisco's kind of on the same program.
Contact back behind him. These two getting together there. You can see part of the fender, part of the bodywork gone. The Continental back machine. Drives right back underneath him. A good line. You were talking about that before. Goes outside in. Gets a good drive down into the gravel pit.
Wilkie wants that so bad he can taste it. And the Continental versus the General Tire cars, orange versus blue. What kind of strap job do you have to do to get your ice chest to stay on top of your race car like that? I mean, you got to be good with the ratchet strap. You think they got cheater bolts in it so it can't fall off?
Titanium bolts?
Straps are just for looks.
Donovan and Rodriguez going at it as well. Wilkie doing everything he possibly can to get around Cisco and has not found the magic yet.
Does he give the NASCAR turnaround sooner or later? Look at this, going to the outside. Drifts it wide, he's got the line. Can he push him out? He does. That's a good old moto trick right there. Take the inside, push him to the outside, and steal the line. And he's got the mo. Now Cisco's got to find those lines that work for him.
Cisco coming right back to the inside, has a little bit of a run. They go side by side through turn 1.
He's going to have to make a couple turns here, though. Blake's looking for that straight line, but Cisco's got the run. Will he chop him off? Cisco does not get next to him, but man, it was close. A good run. And we'll see
here comes Donovan.
Yep, Donovan's going to show him that wheel. Cisco needs to get on his game. Maybe Rob Mack, who Cisco has navigated for, should be spotting Cisco, telling him where the other cars are. Rob Mack, a multi-time short course and desert champion, for those of you that might not know him. And here it is, battle for second.
9-time short course champ.
That's pretty good.
Baja 1000 champ.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's a good one. So clock is counting down here.
Cisco.
Clock counting down, so we'll see this in, I believe, +1. White flag out, so here we go. Wilkie with a nice size lead right now. Great battle here for second. Cisco trying to hang on. Donovan trying to get around him. Donovan and Steele having a good battle there earlier, so now Donovan trying that same move that he saw Wilkie do.
Wilkie looked like he was off for a second there, didn't it? Looked like he was off power.
I wonder if he missed a gear, something happened right there, but here comes Donovan. Donovan's going to have a shot at this.
On the run.
I wonder if something happened here with the gearbox. Did he lose a gear possibly? Donovan trying to close this one up on the last lap, trying to get around Wilkie here for the win.
He's got a couple turns to do it here in the barn turn. This jump coming out of the barn turn so violent for everybody, but it's blocker. Lapper almost blocked the situation. Donovan going to the outside. He's got to run. Let's see if he go outside and dive to the end. Oh,
big momentum there for Donovan around the outside of the gravel pit. He takes him a little bit wide.
Yeah, there you go. I think he should have checked up, gone to the inside, but maybe he's got the run. He's got position now. He has position. He can hold Wilkie wide. Hold Wilkie wide, and this win is yours.
Right back at it. Look at Wilkie trying to push him down. He knew what was coming. Donovan said, no, man, it's not going to happen. I'm going to take you wide now. Wilkie tries to come back to the inside. Donovan's going to take it in the second to last lap. Makes a run through the gravel pit. A great battle there between those two and steals the win. Minus a fender, minus a hood, but plus some hardware. And it's Ryan Rodriguez. Donovan's going to be happy there for a moment.
Continental car getting it done. The 1191 making some great moves. Looking solid. I like some of the lines that he used, and I like the bully move. I didn't think that outside line going into the gravel pit was going to work, but it got him up alongside, and guess what? He could just steal that line and fill up that inside.
So Rodriguez ends up the winner. Wilkie in second. Cisco rounds out the top three. Good look there at the cars there. A good look at Wilkie's car. Had such a great run there. He and Cisco putting on a great battle. And Rodriguez clearly in a war there, hanging onto the front bumper.
Hey, when you're in class 11 and you're smashing that hard, parts are coming off. Look, he passed his own hood right there on his way to the podium. That's pretty good. That looks like a Volkswagen. I mean, look at the old school wheels. It looks so cool.
Drivers climbing out here, of course, co-drivers as well. They can hear you now, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together for the Class 11 competitors. They put on a show.
Ken, that was fun.
Yeah, it's always fun watching these Class 11 cars. Curious to talk to Wilkie a little bit. I wonder what happened there because he was so dominant and took over the lead, had a nice size gap, and went through Argonne Corner there in the back, and all of a sudden he checked up. He lost a lot of ground, and Rodriguez got that big run.
Well, remember, they're stock. They're basically stock swing axle transmissions. You shift them hard enough once in a while.
Got that hood back.
Yeah. You can tape it back on there.
Good stuff. Smiles all around there, man, from ear to ear. So all the drivers out there head over there to the podium. Of course, we'll get a word with everybody. Should be a good time for sure. Stay with us. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back on the other side.
It's orientation day. Welcome to the team.
Who wants to race? I like this team. Be part of something greater. Toyota. Let's go places.
You're watching Speed Sport 1, your home for great off-road racing from America and around the globe. Woo-hoo-hoo! From Ultra 4 to rallies.
These guys are fighting for the lead.
It seems very aggressive. Short course to desert race.
Great move there. He is so fast.
Whether on two wheels or four, Speed Sport 1 has the off-road action you crave.
Look at that move. Jumps to the inside.
Speed Sport 1, the Motorsports Network.
And once again, we welcome you back here, where you can see all of the competitors have made their way up to the podium. A stacked house when you've got 2 per car. The Class 11, of course, putting on a great race here, and Ryan Rodriguez ending up on top of the box. A great run there on that last lap. So exciting for sure. Once again, we will get it down there to Pam Hall, and she has all of our competitors. I'm sure they're happy.
Thanks, guys. I am here with our 3rd place finisher, Cisco Bio. That was a heck of a race you guys just had out there. You're feeling pretty good right now, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's really fortunate to come out here back to Crandon and with KISS tonight, and I just want to congratulate Ryan and Blake for 2nd.
Yeah, you took the whole shot out there, and I was trying to watch from above, but here you are in that number 3 spot, but you're still up here on the stage.
Yeah, as long as I got in the top few, that's what I was good. We're getting ready for Sunday. And then I just want to thank, my dad for driving again 3rd year in a row that he comes out, and Gabi for coming out here. Jimenez Racing Engines giving us the power, Yokohama, Fox Shocks, Rugged Radios, Impact.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. I mean, the Bugs are one of our fan favorites out here, so congratulations on that number 3 spot. We're going to move right on over here to Mr. Blake Wilkie. I mean, the iconic purple bug out there. How are you feeling right now?
Oh, that start was madness. I mean, just bugs are bashing everywhere, and I'm like, just keep it clean, Blake. I know I got excited, or if you get excited, you could get in trouble real quick, and didn't want to throw it away first lap. I saw Cisco out front immediately and was like, I got some work to do. And then Ryan came out of nowhere, and he's got a fast car. They got their program dialed, so to be up here is awesome. Have a solid car. For Sunday's rad, shout out to all my sponsors that helped get me here. I launched that thing wide open. Those King Shocks took all of it, and X-Comp tires. Couldn't do this without them. And all the supporters that rock Shreddy Life, that's what's up. Shred to your dad. We'll see you guys Sunday. I need a chug of beer.
Awesome. Well, congratulations, Blake Wilkie. We're going right on over here into the number 1 spot, Ryan Rodriguez. You're feeling absolutely amazing right now, aren't you?
Yeah, I feel great. It was a hard race. I know my work cut out for me starting 2nd row, and there was a lot of carnage out there. Tried to pick and choose my battles, drive smart, and I had a lot of tough work with these 2 in front of me, but we came in on top.
Exactly, and they were battling it out pretty hard, and like he just said, Blake just said, you just came out of nowhere, so you were just back there watching what they were doing and then took your shot, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of traffic out there. I know if you hit someone, it could damage your car. Try to be smart, watch them, make lines. And I want to can't thank Continental Tire enough. The tires were hooked the whole course. Marco Orbello grooved them great. Slow Ride Garage, Donnie Donovan, Rulo, 94 Toyota Tyler, my dad, my brother, Samantha, Donnie, Laura, Winter, Troll, Boxo, Slow Ride, everybody. I can't thank everybody enough. And Winter.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. Let's give it up one more time for our 1, 2, and 3 in our Class 11. Ryan Rodriguez, Blake Wilkie, and Cisco Bio. Cameron and Ken, it's back to you.
So once again, great stuff here out of the Class 11 group, and they'll have obviously tomorrow to get things tidied back up, and then we'll see them again on Sunday. It'll be a lot of fun to watch them throw back down. So many cars out there, everybody going for it through turn number 1. So once again, we will take a quick commercial break here, and then we'll get it back over to Ralph Shaheen. We'll get things wrapped up here from Crandon. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
First race yesterday.
You're on the team, kid. It's orientation day.
Hey, new guy, let's get you up to speed.
Lunchtime.
Your workspace is ready. Looks like you got a corner office.
Be part of something greater. Toyota. Let's go places.
You're watching Speed Sport 1, your home for great American grassroots racing.
It's time to rumble!
Whether you're into sprint cars or stock cars,
At the line!
modifieds or midgets,
Down to the low side, retrench the lead!
dirt lane models or demolition derby, Speed Sport 1 has the grassroots action you love.
Are you kidding me?
Speed Sport 1, the Motorsports Network. Welcome back to Speed Sport, live from the 54th Polaris Crandon World Championships. It has been a fantastic day of racing here on Speed Sport 1. All of our coverage brought to you by our friends at Toyota. Let's go places with Toyota, and we've gone all around the big house today with some tremendous racing. Speed Sport 1 will be back here again tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You're not going to want to miss it. Live coverage of the Ultra 4 machines battling out here at the big house in Crandon. And then Sunday, the day begins at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time in the morning, and we go all the way through the Red Bull Cup Sunday afternoon. It's going to be a fantastic weekend of racing, all live, of course, right here on the Motorsports Network, Speed Sport 1. We sure hope you've enjoyed our coverage here today. I'm Ralph Shaheen, and as our friends at Toyota say, let's go places. And right now, Crandon rocks, and I'm going to KISS. See you tomorrow, everybody.